Give them a kiss! Kiss each other! Kiss each other!
Why he thinks he's got to be walking in front of me, but whatever.
Well, I'm trying to get a drink, sir, for a DoorDash.
Okay. Well, I'm trying to wait for my order. It doesn't mean you keep walking in front of me.
I understand it, but I'm just wanting to ask a question. Don't need to get aggressive about it.
You're gonna be an asshole. I'll fucking punch you in the fucking face.
You're gonna punch me in the face.
I might.
You're like, so just because there's a camera here, you're not gonna do it.
Dude, just get the fuck out of my face.
Dude, I'm just trying to do my job right now.
Before I whoop your ass right now. You don't think I whoop your ass?
Go ahead.
Man?
Go ahead.
Guarantee I
Go. I got good insurance. Come on.
Huh?
I got good insurance. Let's go. Yeah. Look, all I'm trying to do is just do my job. Want to do it?
You turn your fucking camera off, little boy.
Oh, you want my camera? No.
Yeah. Turn your little boy camera off. Turn your little boy camera off. Turn your little boy camera off.
No.
You take your helmet off.
Come on, let's go.
Punch your fucking.
You want to give him my face? All I'm trying to do is my job.
Get the fuck out of my face right now.
Hey. Chill out, man. This is a public place.
You the one started.
This is a public place, man. Chill out.
You saw that, right?
He was here before you. No,
Chill out.
Yes, he was.
He was over there packing his bag. He got DoorDash in his back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm standing here for a minute. Don't disrespect nobody like that.
All right, but he started.
Don't do that, man. You a grown ass man, man. This is a little kid.
Yeah.
You can see his eyes up under there. Just chill out, man. Chill out. You don't do stuff like that in public, man.
All I'm trying to do is just get a
the
drink.
people that you with.
What is, wait. All right. What is up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Pearl Daily here on the Audacity Network. So I first want to say thank you guys for tuning in. Really, I couldn't do what I do without you. I thank you guys for the support and tuning in. So today I really started to think about aggression and just what it means to be aggressive. All right. So the definition of aggression is hostile or violent behavior or attitudes towards one another, readiness to attack or confront. And what really got me thinking about this topic is thinking about white Christian men. And really the overall attack on white Christian men, I would say the last 50 years. I mean, white Christian men, they've been shamed. White Christian men, they've been told they're not good enough. They've been told they're the root of all evil. They've been told that they're privileged, that the only reason they have accomplished whatever they have accomplished in life is because of being a white Christian male. And this really got me thinking about the death of Charlie Kirk. And just how depraved people have been over his death. I mean, this is a father, a husband that got shot and publicly executed in front of the entire world. I mean, our most depraved, evil criminals do not get public executions. And this guy, who is a white Christian male, who didn't even swear, he like barely swore. I don't think I've ever heard him swear in all of his content. And that's really the state of the world. And it got me thinking, not just about, the leftists and the evil people that are celebrating his death, but about aggression in general. And sometimes I think that the reason that white Christian males, don't, they almost take the most heat is because they freak out the least and will fight back the least, probably because they're busy working. But let's even take it with women. Now, I've spoken on the show about how women, we have a tendency, and I think I should do a disclaimer actually before I keep going because I don't want to stay monetized on YouTube. All right, the disclaimer, this is not all white men, this is not all men, this is not all women. We speak in generalities on this channel, but we do know exceptions exist. Exceptions do exist. These are serious topics, and if you have seen something different, you are welcome to share your experience. This show is based on my personal experience, and there is comedic elements involved, so not everything is 100% serious. I got to do that now. So I just, I kind of had to go back to, it almost seems like the reason that white Christian males get so much heat is because, just from what I know about conservative white Christian men, I grew up around a lot of them. The stereotypical conservative white Christian man does not fight, and he certainly does not fight back. Now, what do I mean by that? Again, I grew up going to Catholic school. I would say most of my life, before 8th grade, high school, and even in college, most of the people I knew were some sort of Christian, conservative, and right-leaning. I would say it was more, I remember we had a vote in middle school for if Obama should be the president, and Mitt Romney won. Not that it matters, but because you're in middle school, but you get the sentiment. Most of the kids were voting for their parents. So it really got me thinking about the plight of the white Christian male. Now, I remember when I got into college, or maybe it was post-college, and I got into a conversation with somebody, and I said that I have never seen a fight. I've never seen it in my life. I have never seen two people go at it. And I talked to somebody that was from, I would say maybe a less Christian background, a more urban, I guess you could say. And this person could not believe that I'd never seen a fight in my life. And I just said, that's not really normal. It's not in most white conservative Christian communities. That's just not how we do things. We don't throw fit. I mean, I literally in my middle school, high school experience, I cannot think of one. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying if it did, I was not there. I wasn't. And what I would say is more of the norm for white conservative Christian men is to walk away. And if somebody's getting aggressive, really, you could argue that maybe they have no choice. I don't know. But it makes me question, is the reason that, they become the punching bag because they're too busy or don't have the time to fight? And I'll watch these and I took it to the streets today, but it just seems like this is not going to upload. So I don't know, maybe we'll play it later. Because I thought it'd be fun to go on the streets, get the interview. That's why I'm a little late. Because I'm on the streets, I get the interviews, and then I come back. Charlie was basically crucified. It's totally true. Unless it's life-threatening, imminent threat, it's different. And look, I as a woman, I cannot understand the threat of violence. I will personally never understand it. So I want to be clear. There are times when I do this show, and I really don't come in with an agenda. There are times where I say, women shouldn't vote. I can't say that anymore. Where there are times where I say women should, there are times when I mean what I say, but there's also times when I don't understand the aggression of the man. So I'll go through, read The Men Who Want to Be Left Alone. Can it be read in an article, or is this longer? I mean, it depends how long will it take. The Men Who Want to Be Left Alone. Quote. I'll do quote. Let's see. The most terrifying force of death comes from the men who wanted to be left alone. They try so very hard to mind their own business and provide for themselves and those that they love. They resist every impulse to fight back, knowing the forced and permanent change of life that will come from it. They know that the moment they fight back, their lives as they have lived them are over. The moment men who wanted to be left alone are forced to fight back, it's a form of suicide. They're literally killing off who they used to be, which is why when forced to take up violence, these men who wanted to be left alone fight an unholy vengeance against those who murdered their former lives. They fight with raw hate and a drive that cannot be fathomed by those who are a merely play acting politics and terror. True terror will arrive at these people's door, and they will cry and beg for mercy. And it will fall upon deaf ears of the men who wanted to be left alone. And, I see this, and I hate to say this, but I see this with the men who end up, killing their whole families. Now, I'd like to say I disavow any violence. It is completely wrong. No man should shoot up anything or anybody. But it's almost like these men, they just wanted to stay married and have a happy family. And then their woman just starts stealing their kids, stealing their money. And they realize the next 20 years, and at sometimes it's the last 20 years of their life. I mean, a guy who's 40, if he starts getting robbed at 40 and now he's got 20 years of alimony and child support, I mean, he's going to be 60. I mean, he's almost dead by the time he gets off of it. And then they just crash out. They're like, I just wanted to be left alone. Now, I'd like to play devil's advocate here. There are times that I have seen where really, being left alone, being men walking away has not benefited them. I'm gonna send these links out because I want people to call in. And I've seen this, not necessarily for me, but you personally, because we didn't really have, this directive bullying maybe in my school, but there was people I know that did deal with bullies. And I think I saw a female bully on social media recently where this woman was just bullying this guy mercilessly. And one day, this kid just snapped. He just snapped. And he beat the fuck out of this girl. He did. I saw that, so it was pretty funny. And after then, she left him alone. And so at times, it seems like there is some value in fighting back and getting angry back and beating up the bully. But in other times, that gets you thrown in jail, killed. And, I'm really not saying one way or the other. Sending these links out to the people. But I'm really asking the question, and it seems like when I do street interviews, there's really a mix of opinions. Some people seem to think it's weak to walk away, and that the bullies, they'll just never end. And in this case, I kind of wonder, it seems like the people, and I think this is a frustration of conservative white Christians, and I would even say black Christians too. I would just say, Christians in general. It can feel like at times the only person that gets catered to or gets their way are the ones that are the most insane. When I was in England, I had to play with, there was tournaments that we had trans people at. And it wasn't because they were these quiet, meek people. It was because they crashed out and complained until they were in our tournaments. And now I'm playing against dudes. Yeah, Doug MPA. There was a time in England where I can't believe you didn't invite me for this one. Oh, okay. I am now. You know what? I'm sorry. It was a long day. I got to be honest. I'll send it. You know what? It's sometimes I just send these out, when I'm after my monologue, I just sent you the link. So, where was I going with this? So, there are times where if you don't fight the bully back, they just keep on going. Oh, I'll talk about the whale attack. So I was attacked in England by a large, majestic creature. So even though I was pretty chubby at one point, I wasn't that obese to be fair, but I was pretty chubby. I still had to go after the women fatter than me, as women do. I mean, that's how we do it. So, but the difference was, if you told me I was chubby, I would have agreed. But these fat women, it's like they just gaslight you to eternity and say they're not fat. Do you know what I mean? He has to pay his bar tab. All right. It's all right. It's no rush. It's no rush. I'm really not in a rush. So when I was in England, I'm doing these street interviews, and I'm doing interviews on the street. And I went out there with two of my male, I guess, co-workers, colleagues, whatever, other YouTubers. They were holding the camera. It's better when you don't have to pay a cameraman. My new favorite movie, Pearl versus the Orca. And so what happened was this woman, I'm interviewing her, and we're talking about men walking home alone at night. And I interview her, and I'm like, sorry, she says, I can't walk home alone at night as a woman. And I'm thinking, what are we doing right now? Like, I'm like, it's night, bitch. This is the night. We are walking alone at night. Chubby is not attractive. I know, and I would have agreed at the time. I would have agreed. I was never, I was overweight. I wasn't obese. Well, I'd have to look at the BMI. Short period, but yeah. Regardless, you get away with fucking murder when you're young. Do you know what I mean? When you're 22, you can be fat. The men, they say they won't forgive you, but we're not talking about, I'll tell you what, we're not talking about what they say. It's like men when they say, oh, I would never simp for a whore. And then you see them simp for, we don't talk about what men say. So many guys fold so fast. This is the internet. Men will say what they want. You know what I mean? But they fold, a lot of them fold. I would say more fold than don't fold. And please do not call in today to tell me, oh, Pearl, I wouldn't be the one who folds. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Sorry. But anyways, at 22, you can get away with murder. You can know nothing. You could be kind of fat, and it's just anyway. So this was a legitimate fat chick. Okay, we're not going back and forth about who was fatter, Pearl or the whale. The whale was fatter. Okay, it wasn't even close. This was a fat woman. This was obese. This was a beluga whale. Okay, and so what happened was, I'm doing this interview, and I'm saying, I think you could walk home alone at night. Home alone at night, lady. And she's like, I'll have you, you slag. I didn't know what a slag meant. I didn't. I was in England. I was new. But I knew I was being insulted. And she starts like growling at me. And I'm like, oh my God. And then this woman, she knocks the mic out of my hand. And she's trying to fight me. Now, my guy friend was there, so he pulled her off. And I'm like, where were you this whole time? She was growling at me. I brought you for one reason. I don't do charity collabs. Do you know what I mean? I don't do these for free. This was so you can save me from the whales. But in that moment, I had to make a choice, right? I had to make a choice if I was going to fight this woman she did go first. But I thought, this is my head. And I think a lot of men go through this too. They think I have too much to lose. And I did at that point. I'm like, this woman is some drunken nurse out on a Tuesday or whatever it was. I get to do this fun job that I love, and I don't want to get sued. I'm not too dainty to fight. Do you see, I have a gun show. Do you know what I'm like, for a woman? I could have won. It's like, most women, guys, I would win in a fight. I'm not even trying to, but I'm 6 foot. I played basketball. I was an athlete. I mean, especially I'm not saying like I would win the first punch, but if I could get my hands on, there is no way in hell. But like, for a woman, a man, I'm dead. I'm cooked. I'm done. But do you know what? There's been moments like this in my career too. There are times when I am verbally assaulted. No. Verbal abuse. It's like, woman, really? But there are times when verbally women have come at me and they just start insulting me. They're saying, like, the other day I was in a Twitter space and I'm going back and forth. I was going back and forth with this Muslim guy. And, I started talking about a white issue and he had to make it about a Muslim issue. Because I was talking about Charlie Kirk dying is really an attack on the white Christian male. And this Muslim guy comes in and is like, what about Gaza? And I'm like, this is not the same. Can we just have 5 minutes? And then he starts insulting me, right? He's like, you're so dumb. You're a woman. I mean, it's the typical, stereotypical, not all YouTube. But it's the stereotypical, and I am a sexist, not all, just kidding. That's comedy, YouTube. That's comedy. I don't mean it. Haha. But I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? All I'm saying is the white men, they never get a march. They never get a march for the white male issues. BLM, they get a march. The Muslims, they get a march. The white men, it's like nothing. Although I did see something in England. And at times it feels like I have to stoop to their level to get these people to shut the fuck up. Do you know what I mean? And in this moment, again, I walked away. My tendency personally, and I would say conservative, I'm not that religious, but I would say I still am a Catholic. I would say our nature is to walk away. But it seems like at times it's like these people won't leave you alone. I got bullies relentlessly. And one time I actually stood up for myself. I actually came up on top. I snapped and did a fair bit of damage. I was left alone after that. Now, look, I do not, and I cannot speak for violence when it comes to men. I cannot. I do not understand violence the way that men do. But, when I was doing these street interviews today and I asked people about fighting, and I asked people, I don't think the thing, I think I'll load it later if it works, but it's okay. I didn't want to wait the show any longer, but the 2 answers I got when asking if there's a fight, do you fight back or walk away? And I said, okay, if I'm a crazy woman, I'm coming up to you. Are you going to walk away or are you going to fight me? And the majority, I would say 9 out of 10 said, I'm going to walk away. And the 1 out of 10, there's one guy who said, no, I'm fucking fighting. And there's a part of me that kind of respected the guy. And maybe it's the woman in me, like we love criminals and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? You kind of respect the guy who says, no, like, you're not going to disrespect me. I'm going to fight. And you can play the devil's advocate that they won't leave you alone. But at the same time, I've also lived in a pretty, I would say, lower, I'll just say not a Christian area. That's the word I'll use on this stream. Part of you respected him. Part of you figured he was lying. I'll say not a Christian area. And it blew my mind the amount of fights that I would see over disrespect. I'm like, oh my God, you guys think everything's disrespectful. And they would be throwing hands over stuff. And I do think white people, white Christians, have a tendency to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, a woman will get gangbanged on camera and the white guys will be like, she didn't mean it. She like got baptized. I'll take her now. I mean, that's just typical. And they'll gaslight you. They'll say that's not typical. And I'm like, oh no, you guys can't gaslight me today. Oh no, I can't be gaslit. So I don't even have an answer to this. I really don't. Because I would say more often than not, my inclination, just personally as a person, I don't really like being violent. I don't even really like insulting people. I mean, I know maybe you might think I do because I do call a whale, but a whale's a whale. Do you know what I mean? A whale is a whale. I can't. But when I was in this area in London, I'll say the amount of times people would get riled up over what I perceived to be the smallest things. And maybe it was disrespect, but I do think that's kind of typical, like where I'm from. I mean, my family members, we all kind of poke fun at each other. And sometimes you do want to punch them in the face. No offense if any of you are watching, but it does happen. But I'm never actually going to do it. You know what I mean? And that's kind of, I would say that's not abnormal. So you could argue maybe it's better than, people are more respectful to each other because they're afraid of getting punched in the face or shot. I don't know if I want to live like that, but if you have a nice car, a job. And I will say the one guy that did answer this way today, I didn't know him too well, but I just cannot say he had a lot to lose. Have I ever been in a fight before? Do I look like, and I'll tell you what, I got offered like $40,000, $40K to fight a bitch. I got offered 40 grand to do a boxing fight against some OnlyFans woman. It was from Aiden Ross. And it was like he did some stream and I was offered this. And I'll tell you what went through my head. And by the way, this is a fight I believed I could have won. I believed that I would have won that fight, in my opinion. I do not think I would have lost. But I just thought about it and I'm like, okay, this is a nobody OnlyFans woman. I have 2 million subscribers. If she wins, she gets famous. If I win, nothing. And if she wins, I mean, this is my moneymaker. I'm not saying like, as a streamer, you need your face. And I just thought I have too much to lose. I know I would win. I know I would. But I'm saying, I think my inclination is to walk away because I personally just feel as though if I could throw a punch and I wouldn't get dragged to court, maybe I would. If I could throw a punch and my opponent, I just saw somebody do that boxing thing and this guy thought he was doing the WWE and he flatlined. He almost died. I don't want to be in that situation. My moneymaker is my brain. I'm a woman. Have you learned nothing from these streams? Sorry. Okay, well, so that's my question. Is men walking away from aggression smart or is it weak? Now, we have a loaded up panel today. I'm going to start with Doug MPA, and then we'll bring up the rest of the panelists. So, Doug MPA.
Hey.
What's your thought? Is violence ever the answer?
Yes.
Okay.
First off, I believe we need to bring butt whoopings back for young children. There are times where if your kids are acting up, you gotta whoop them. So I'm hoping that we bring that back. Some people would call that violence, but let me tell you, I got whooped a lot when I was young, and I deserved every second of it. So I'm hoping that we get to see more of that. I like the Sean Connery quote. Have you seen the Sean Connery clip where he says, "Sometimes a woman needs a little slop," and the interviewer is like, "Are you saying that men should hit women?" And he's like, "If you've explored every other option and she wants to get the last word and you've given her the last word and she still keeps talking, you got to give her a slap." Have you seen that clip?
So would you slap a woman?
If she were coming at me crazy, I would defend myself. Let's just put it that way. I would defend myself. I would do the restraining stuff first, but then if she keeps going, I'm sorry, man. Like,
Pearl should have a prop crack pipe for moments for this.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm one of those guys where I have too much to lose, but there are more and more guys that don't have anything to lose. So women that put their hands on men, there's more of a likelihood that they're gonna run into a guy that's the wrong one. And let me tell you, I'm one of those guys. If I see a man and a woman going at it in public, I don't intervene. I just don't. Why? Yeah. You don't know what happened before.
I know. You'll lose your life, and then she'll go bang him after. Do you
exactly.
know what I mean? That's
exactly.
what you're up against.
But yeah, I think that guys, you have to defend yourself. Defend yourself. Press charges. You can't just let women hit you, guys. You can't do it. When it comes to aggressiveness between two men, I always remember. So there's this series called Lock Up Raw where they would interview people in prison, and this guy was a software engineer in San Jose, California. Had his whole life ahead of him. He had a stay-at-home wife and 2 kids. He had it made. Then he was late to work. This guy cut him off. They pulled over. He had a knife in his car for some reason, and he stabbed this guy, and the guy died. So now he's spending 15 years in prison for manslaughter, all because this guy cut him off, and he decided to get out of his car with a knife. Was it worth it? The guy cut you off. Come on now.
That's why I had to stop selling my T-shirts. You know which ones.
Yeah. So,
I had to ask. I was like, "Is this worth it?"
Yeah. So they interviewed the guy, and they said, "Is it worth it?" He's like, "No, it's not. If I could go back to that day and just have never gotten out of my car, I wouldn't have done it." And now he has to do 15 years. But men are cost-benefit calculators, and women are not. And I believe that most of these men you see walking away, they do a cost-benefit, and they're like, it's not worth it. But I'm going to say one more time. The way that society has been treating men, more and more men are going to have nothing to lose.
Oh, that's true. And the more they have nothing to lose, the more they're going to crash out.
You got it.
Well, we have a subject matter expert on the show. Welcome to the show, Law of Self-Defense.
I want you to know I still have your old Stab a Hoe t-shirt.
Hey, I can't sell them anymore. You know what I mean? So what you were a subject matter expert in this, actually. So
Indeed.
Do you think
I had a bad first marriage? I know all about it.
All right. So do you think men walking away from aggressive people, men or women, is smart or weak? And is there ever a place for violence? Go ahead.
Generally, it's best to not get into fights you don't need to get into. But as was just said, men are good calculators. We ought to be good. We should be good at calculating the risk benefit of standing up or walking away. In the particular case with the baseball, that guy should have told that lesbian to go F herself. What was the threat from her? What risk was he incurring by just telling her to go screw off? Nothing. Now, if she walked up and put a gun to his head, or she walked up with a 300-pound man backing her up, that's a different threat calculation. But this short-haired Subaru driving lesbian demanding a baseball, go F yourself.
Yep.
There's no risk to that approach. Instead, he acted like he taught his son to be a complete bitch. He taught his son, if a woman comes up and yells at you, give her whatever she wants. He
taken that ball and thrown it back on the field. So nobody.
What kind of woman is that boy going to marry? A woman that respects him?
A woman like your first wife.
Right. That was terrible. No, if she walked up with a gun in her hand and he gave up the baseball, he could explain to his son, listen, it doesn't make any sense to die over a baseball. And she had a gun. I didn't have a gun. So he should have had a gun, of course. But in any case, but in this scenario, what is the downside of telling this broad to go screw?
I think some people on Twitter were saying that you just don't know with a crazy woman what they're willing to do. So it's better to just get away. What do you think about that?
Okay. So she has a nuclear bomb in her man first. I mean, come on, let's be reasonable. Of course, you never know absolutely what someone could do. Maybe she's got a Tommy gun in her vajayjay. She's going to whip it out and shoot everybody dead, but probably not. I think it's a safe bet not.
Yeah.
And honestly, all he had to do was just sit there, because a lot of these women.
When did he say no?
Like that, a lot of these women, when they get bucked like that, all you have to do is just tell them once and ignore them.
Yeah.
All father had to do was just look at it and just not say a word.
I heard.
I'm not giving you the ball, and then she would have just peed it out and left.
I heard that the angrier a woman is at you, the more she wants to bang you. Have you guys found that to be true? Maybe he could have flipped it. You know what I mean?
I've got the scars, Pearl. I've got the ER receipts.
Oh, fuck. Oh my God. All right, Jason, welcome to the show. What are your thoughts on the topic? Is men walking away from aggressive people smart or weak?
Well, since the premise of this whole conversation was about Christian men, right? So for Christian men, so I think part of the problem and part of the misunderstanding of what that looks like is you have to talk to actual Christian men who don't respond to situations or based on their opinions or their feelings or their ego. A real Christian man responds to those situations by what Scripture actually instructs us to do. That's the way a Christian man responds to these conflicts or violence or whatever. And the Scripture is like completely clear, no room for a misunderstanding. The Lord tests the righteous and his soul hates the wicked, but he also hates the one who loves violence. So it steers us away from violence. I think as a man, you need to be capable of great violence. I think that's your duty, to be capable of great violence, but knowing when to use it is the discernment that comes. Because if we just rely on our feelings, and when we're angry or somebody, like you said, disrespects you, then you're going to get into a lot of conflicts. But for me, like as a Christian man, there is almost nothing you can do to me to make me get violent unless you threaten my wife or children. Like that's really, honestly, that's it. Or you're threatening bodily harm against me. And I think it's a duty of Christians to, if you're going to proclaim that you are one, that you respond to those situations as such. The stuff about having to slap a woman and all these other things, I know it makes for great content, but that is antithetical. So like if we're in the context of Christianity and what it means to be a Christian man, you have to live by that and day in and day out and not.
Can you not defend yourself? So
well, first of all, let's contextualize, all right? We're talking about the baseball event. Is that what we're still talking about? All right. So no one's saying. I don't know anyone responsible.
Bro, go ahead.
Saying,
hold on.
Wait, that's okay.
Bro, go ahead. Are you sure?
That's okay. So So it's like the baseball event, or just in general. But yeah, the baseball event was what made me think of it. Go ahead.
Well, that provides good context, right? So I don't think anyone responsible is saying in the baseball event he should have punched her in the face and thrown her off the bleachers to her death.
I was responding to the sometimes you have to slap a woman kind of a deal, which to me.
Well, I guess sometimes you might have to. If she's coming at you with a knife, what are you supposed to do? Nothing?
No.
So it depends on the circumstances, right?
Sure. And then again, that would be in the event of immediate bodily harm. Then there are, obviously, you can defend yourself. But
sure.
There are very few situations in which a woman represents, outside of a weapon, a immediate threat of bodily harm outside of.
What if she's punching your 8-year-old son in the face?
Right. Like you're just providing more examples of times where
I'm trying to contextualize.
Yeah, I'm saying that yes, you're threatening bodily harm against a child, your children, even bodily harm against you. She has a weapon, this or that, but she's throwing a fit. Maybe even if she slaps you, I still honestly like there are very few situations in which I'm going to interpret that as a direct threat against my life.
So I think we're saying the same thing, right? Sometimes it would be appropriate to use physical force against a woman, and sometimes it wouldn't.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Bro, I put two clips in the chat. One is
Did you put in the private chat or in the
no, I'm sorry, on the document.
On the Google Doc, and we could react to it. Okay.
So one is the Sean Connery clip. Go to the Instagram one first. Do the Instagram deal first.
Okay.
And then do the Sean Connery quote.
Okay. I want to add Jason to the panel first. All right, we got Jason Cross, world famous comedian. I believe he was on Tim Pool, or they reacted to him or something. Welcome, Jason. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for having me on. It's good to be on. Y'all a wild bunch. Y'all talking about smacking hoes and Throwing ladies downstairs.
Yeah.
Man.
So are you hitting a bitch or what?
No. You know, so
Not even wait, not even like once. Do you know what I mean?
No. So I box, right? You know, recreationally to stay in shape.
Oh, so you're punching a bitch?
No, I'm dodging punches from a bitch because that will frustrate her more. You let her swing and you dodge them. That'll frustrate
Some of these
more.
hoes have quick hands, man. Some of them got quick hands.
Oh, they shouldn't be getting you, man. They shouldn't be getting you.
Here, so let me share the screen. All right, this is Sean Connery.
Oh yeah, this is a great clip.
I remember that one.
With men than women.
Years ago, you did an interview, which may come back to haunt you. What you know what I'm going to say, right? Okay, you did an interview in which you said, it's not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist. It's better to do it with an open hand.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No.
It's good to slap a woman?
No, I don't think it's good. I
don't think it's bad.
Only if she likes it. Sorry.
Let's go. Here it
I
goes.
don't think it's that bad. I think that it depends entirely on the circumstances and if it merits it. Yeah.
What would merit it?
Well, if you have tried everything else, and women are pretty good at this, they can't leave it alone. They
Not
don't
a
want
lie.
to have the last word, and you give them the last word, but they're not happy with the last word. They want to say
We've all
it
been
again,
there.
and get into a really provocative situation. Then I think it's absolutely right.
Oh my God.
To give her a good slap.
Yeah, absolutely.
What if she gives you a good slap back?
Well, then you get into another area. I mean, then maybe she's getting to like it, and then it becomes something else. I don't know. But no. Seriously, I think that it's the last resort. He's not going to do it because he wants to do it. Huh?
Yeah.
Wait till people see this interview. Are you going to get mail?
Might get some female.
Let's go, Sean.
Gangster, dude.
By the way, 20 minutes after this interview, Sean Connery put a baby in that woman.
Okay, wait, I have another one. You have to excuse me. I don't know what it is about this computer, but it does not zoom in. So this is going to be very small. We're going to share this one instead. Okay.
Put you down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yo. Caminar.
What does that mean?
It means run, bitch. That's what that walk.
What?
It means walk.
I'm sorry.
One more time. I have to say that calmly. And I'm gonna give you to the count of 3. 1. Caminar. 2. Caminar. 3. Caminar. Before I put my fucking hands on you, you don't. I promise you, you don't want to see what I have under my mouth. I'm dead ass.
I would like.
What? I'm gonna put you in the ground. I'm gonna give you 3 seconds. 1.
What if I put myself on the ground first?
2. That's 2.
What do you want?
I'm gonna fucking hurt you.
I need what you need.
She needs a little Sean Connery.
Watch.
I think she really realizes her
I'm
threats
gonna
don't
really
mean
put
anything.
you down.
How?
Get away! Get away!
Yeah.
I want you.
Yeah.
Really? I gave you 3 seconds. Why are you telling me to walk? What did he do?
The other girl's like, he's cute. Don't send him away.
I don't know.
She's like, come on, boyfriend.
Bye.
See?
And then
up another one of those.
I know that the hot girl comes up.
Yeah, and like if you play the rest of all the rest of the girls, like, what was that about? He's like, I don't know. I'm just saying. So she expected all the women to come for her to back her up, and they told her to leave.
No, he's cute. You can tell he's good looking. That's why.
But that's what happens a lot of the times when a woman tries to get brolic, and all a man does is laugh. That's when they realize how powerless they are. You just laugh at them.
Yeah, you can see it.
And that's what the baseball guy should have done.
I agree with that. I think I don't shame him maybe as heavily as you guys do, but I do think the right thing probably would have been to do just to hold his ground. That's all you have to do is just hold your ground.
Yeah, he shouldn't have laid a hand on her. He just should have said, no, you're not getting the baseball.
Correct.
You're just not getting it.
Correct.
Let's play this out though. What happens if he tells her no? Does she keep griping?
She might. Yeah, I think that's the point. Is literally who cares?
I think how far a man can go in life is how well he can tune out nagging.
Yeah. Right. I mean, Pearl already knows this, but I had a bad first marriage. I had 13 years. I had a manslaughter sentence and nagging. There's no way you could nag me into doing something I don't want to do.
Do you know what the only way, the best way to not have a nagging wife? Because it sounds like
it's impossible, dude.
Dude, you have no idea what you're talking about. That's not
I've been married too, bro. It's impossible.
I'm glad you've been married, but you haven't heard what I'm about to say.
Go ahead.
The only men I've ever met, the people who I've gotten advice from and tried to emulate in my own marriage, you can have a relationship with no nagging wife. You can have a relationship where you are respected, where you are loved, where you are built up in public and in private. But again, if we're talking about Christian men, because that's Christian men, if you have a biblical because you can't say biblical marriage and then not live a biblical marriage, because one of those things literally is submit
they
to your
do
husband,
it all the time.
respect, but that's not biblical marriage. That's the point. That's the point I'm making. You can call it biblical marriage, but if a woman is not submitting to her husband, respecting her husband, if the husband is not loving her the same way Christ loved the church, then it's not a biblical marriage. If you do it the right way, I promise you could have a wife who does not nag you.
Okay, hold up a second.
Hold on, I want to read the super chat. Very cool to see two of my faves, Pearl and Andrew, together.
So you're doing this whole virtue.
It's not virtue. It's not virtue.
Because here's the thing. But Pearl's asked multiple times for trad cons to sell marriage, and they can't do it. They try to say if you live by a biblical marriage and you have a virtuous woman, but Pearl and I have both seen Christian women, biblical marriage women ruin their husbands in divorce.
Because you're talking to the wrong people.
Yeah, but my brother in Christ, what you're saying is uncontestably true. If it's a truly biblical marriage, you're not having these problems. But it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? If everything's going great, everything's going great. But if the wife decides she doesn't want it to go that way, what's the man supposed to do about it? He's effed.
Yep. And what's going to keep her acting that way? Behavior opposite of what you're talking about is rewarded and incentivized in this society. Women can change. Women reserve the right and are encouraged to change their minds about anything at any given time, and men in society have to accommodate it, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Right, but you're shifting the conversation to the marriage system, right? Which obviously has its flaws and problems. I don't contest that the marriage system is flawed, but to answer your question of how do you keep a wife from being disrespectful or leaving, or
what keeps her, not how do you keep her? Okay. You can't do anything. What she has to choose to do it.
Correct. So how do you make her choose?
You don't make her choose.
Make her choose anything.
You do.
You can't make her choose, bro.
If a man leads, he does.
Now I have a question. How old are you?
I'm 37.
30.
All right. Can I just say for context, I'm 60, so I'm almost twice as old of you. I'm in my second marriage. My first marriage was a 13-year hell. Like my second marriage is 15 years, a biblical marriage. I'm passionately married to my second wife. So I've done it both ways. And I can tell you, in both occasions, it was not up to me. I was the same person. My first wife was completely different from my second wife. My second wife, my current wife, my lovely wife, Emily, she chooses tonight not be the she-devil. But I have no control over that. If she chose to be a she-devil tomorrow, there's nothing I could do about it.
Did you have no control over who you married?
Yeah, you got
No, of course. I made that choice. Of course, that's on me.
Okay, so.
But I could not make my first wife a good woman. I couldn't do it.
Right. So you're skipping like 15 steps. The first step is you have to marry a godly woman who is committed to living under biblical marriage, and then you have.
How do you know that's her? Women fake things
Wait,
brilliantly.
They
Go
can't
ahead,
fake
bro.
for too long though. You got to give
Bro.
it some time.
How much time?
How could
I was engaged for 2 years before I got married.
All right, 2 years.
I
2
did my
years
due.
is a
I did
long
my
time.
due diligence. Yes.
Yeah, but I always wonder, like, because you guys are so confident in that, like, your marriages, and not you, but just in general, the TradCon crowd are always very confident their marriages work out. And you have to understand, I have the perspective of interviewing men before and after they get divorced. And like, you're not even past the age where most people get divorced. So like, just from my point of view, I'm like, you don't even know if yours is going to work out.
we've been together for
what's the
almost
divorce
20
age?
years at this point, but I
For
hear what
how,
you're saying.
no, for how many years?
Almost 20 at this point. So
Oh, you got married very young.
that's fine.
Wait,
Well, we didn't
20?
get-
You said you were 36?
We've been together. We've been married for 11. So,
Oh,
but-
that doesn't matter. That's completely
of course,
different.
it matters. A decade of knowing each other and knowing her character.
Well, no, because here's the
Dating
problem.
and marriage are not the same thing.
You just have to understand. Again, I've interviewed men from like I've interviewed people that got divorced from near Amish communities, like literally like one step away from Amish.
Well, why are you interviewing divorced people instead of happily married Christian couples?
It would be great. It would be really cool if I could find more of them, but there's just not many.
Reach out to me. I'll give you plenty.
And the
you know what the cause
challenge
of the cause of divorce is, right?
What's the number
Marriage,
one cause of
baby.
divorce?
Marriage.
So wait, what's the divorce age?
it's usually so like how
late 30s to early 40s.
yeah, but it's more
I'm out of the
important.
storm.
Well, no, more importantly is whenever she gets what she wants. So it's like usually when the youngest kid hits preschool. So like in conservative families, it's sometimes a little bit longer because it's like, well, how old's the youngest kid and did the youngest kid hit preschool yet? And is she done? Did she get as many kids as she wants? And are they old enough to take care of themselves? That's kind of the question I ask. But I mean, I literally interviewed someone from Michael Knowles' church, and it was one of the worst divorce stories I ever saw. Like
36%.
I'm not saying it'll happen for everyone, but to act like religion is some sort of barrier.
I wouldn't. I'm not saying it's a barrier. I'm saying what I am saying is that the only all these problems that you mentioned, which are legitimate problems, and the divorce rate is terrible. Marriage is not a it's a troubled institution because of the way that we approach it. What I am saying is that the only model that has proven to work when applied by two willing people, you can't, to your point, a man cannot be the loving head of the home by himself, and then she chooses not to be his helper, and that marriage will work. That is correct. But if you have two people who enter into marriage with the understanding of their roles clearly, and that's why it's important,
but
who you pick.
You need enforcement, though. That's the problem. So if you have no way of enforcing, and in this society you can't, you can be legally charged if you enforce. Like, I mean, there's religious abuse now. I swear to God, it's a thing. And yeah, I know it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but. So that's like saying, okay, I have a law, but you can't be thrown in jail if you break it. So it's just, so it's just if you choose, that's it.
And again, it comes back.
But it goes back to the woman's choice, which means she's in control.
Right. So the question again becomes, because I think what we're arguing over, or how I'm being perceived, is that I'm saying all Christians do this and all whatever. I'm like, if a woman leaves her husband for any reason other than the very few, there's only a couple reasons that are justifiable in the Bible to divorce your husband. One of them is infidelity, and the other one is if he dies, basically, then she is walking outside of the bounds of marriage, or outside of the bounds of biblical marriage. So she's violating that, and of course that happens,
and she
that's
does not care.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if you marry somebody who does not take marriage as an actual covenant,
they care in the beginning.
Well,
right.
They care in the beginning. Trust me. I mean, a lot of these guys, I've had women convert to very strict religions for a man. They met a man, fell in love. I've had women move countries for a man. I've had women Orthodox. I could go through all of the religions I've interviewed. And at the time, they're very religious until they're not.
The first 2 years of my bad marriage were awesome.
Yeah, the first 3 years of mine were great.
Years of it.
What changes? What changes?
Usually
she changes her mind.
Yeah, or the women. I mean, it's a lot.
She has buyer's regret, buyer's remorse, so she's.
Some of the best advice I ever got was
for women. You know how you guys bang a chick, and then you realize you don't like her too much.
That's how women think about marriage.
Yeah, no, that's what happens to women because you guys, when you're like, oh, I really like this chick, and then you have sex, and you're like,
this feels like
stop.
this feels like there's no accountability on behalf of the man now.
Stop! Oh my God! Shh, don't overtalk me. Okay, so
a man has no control over the woman.
So the problem is women. When we have a child, that's like post-nut clarity for us. As many kids as we have, because we're like, oh, we got what we wanted, and then we have to look at the guy. Then we have to look at the guy, and we're like, did I want him? Ooh, did I want? Ooh. Yes. And sometimes the answer is yeah, I did, and then other times the answer.
Other times is I just want the money.
Think about this. Think about this. None of us are Obama fans, but I always credit hard work. The guy made it to the presidency. His wife wrote in a book, Big Mike wrote that she hated him for the first 10 years of their marriage for the first 10 years of their marriage. She wrote in a book, national bestseller, I hated him for 10 years after our first child was born. That's women right there. And then I'm going to add another layer to it because there are what are called gray divorces. Gray divorce, the trend of couples divorcing over 50 has significantly increased, with the divorce rate for those over 50 doubling since 1990. So in 2019, about 36% of all divorces involved individuals 50 or older. Wow. Yeah, you got a long way to go, buddy.
Yeah, I just gotta see I gotta see your youngest kid hit like 13-ish, and then you can come back. You know what I mean?
I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, I mean,
Jay, how long have you been married?
It's no offense to you. It's just I've just seen, again, I've interviewed men even more confident than you that said the same thing that ended up in the worst place, unfortunately.
I just wonder.
By the way, dude, I hope you're passionately married to your wife forever. I'm very happily married to my second wife. It's fantastic. We've been together 15 years, married 15 years, 2 kids. It's the best life I've ever lived. I'm not anti-marriage. When it works, it just works so rarely that it's hard to recommend.
Because almost nobody does it correctly. So of course it works rarely.
But he has a point. He has a point. A lot of people don't choose properly to start with. Of course, it's going to fall apart.
They don't choose properly. They don't live out what we're talking about at all. And then you act like the idea of biblical marriage failed when nobody was actually doing
biblical marriage doesn't exist.
I mean, Steven
doesn't exist anymore.
I mean,
of course it does.
Steven Crowder. Well, yeah, he's right. It doesn't exist. You have to have enforcement. If it only exists when the woman decides it exists, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's no God in divorce court either.
Yeah, it's traditional when she decides it's traditional. And if she doesn't decide it, that means she has the final say, which means it's not you.
That's just the point. If breaking the covenant with God is not a big deal to her, then she wasn't a good wife. So it's
like the wrong one from the jump.
But that's just begging the question. She decides whether or not that's true.
That's fair. So that's an indictment on the marriage system itself.
It's an indictment of women.
It's also an indictment on a woman who would do that. But then you made a bad choice because she did not actually have a passion.
Yes, but in a biblical marriage,
she was under.
In a biblical marriage, you could make a weak choice, and she could not fuck you in divorce court, right? That's the difference between a biblical marriage and modern day marriage. These are not the same things. So I am 1,000% in favor of biblical marriage, but we don't have that anymore. It's gone because the woman, on her whim, she could have one bad day, go to divorce court, file against you. 80% of divorces are filed by women, and you are effed. You're marrying in 2025. You're not marrying a woman in Jesus. You're marrying a woman and a divorce court that is on her side.
I'm not arguing that divorce court is on her
And the
side.
problem is, you know what? So I had a trainer in London, and to be honest, he talked kind of like you. He met his high school sweetheart, like around the same age. He married her. He was like a devout Muslim guy. And literally one day he comes in with like scratches on his face. And he said his wife like thought he was cheating, but he has a twin brother. I don't know. Maybe he lied his way out of it, or maybe he was cheating. I don't know. This is just a story he told me. Okay, I don't know.
I also have a twin brother.
I don't know.
Oh my
No,
God.
no, but he actually did. He actually did have a twin brother. So that's a funny thing. He actually did. But apparently his twin brother took a woman on a date, right? And her friend saw the twin brother and thought it was him, and then came back to her and said that he was cheating. So this woman crashed out, called the police on him, said that he was abusive, all this bullshit. And he literally went to jail with his like trad wife of 20 years. And I swear he spoke to, like the way you're talking right now, he spoke to me. He said his wife would never. And I, you know, it's not that I don't want to be black-pilled, but I've just had too many guys kind of talk like you and have the same talking points. We're just not doing it right. And then they come back like 5 years later. Like Steven Crowder, you know, before he got divorced, he sounded just like you, you know, and now he's the same. He said, do it right. He would go on all the shows and say, do it like this, marry a virgin wife. He went and did it. And now, you know, she did the same thing, the abuse.
Or you have,
I mean, how many female divorce court judges were there in the 2nd century AD?
Oh yeah, that's the challenge. Yeah. The worst judge.
Even worse.
Go ahead.
Even worse, there is a social infrastructure in place to encourage women to leave their husbands and go out there and struggle. Tyrese's ex-wife was on a podcast. He went to go shoot a movie. She covered up all the Ring cameras while he was gone, took their newborn child, all of her stuff out of the house, and has 2 lawyers trying to get more money out of him right now. And she had to go on a podcast and say, I regret, if it wasn't for my mama and all my friends, I would have never divorced him. If I could go back, but I had all these women in my ear saying, you don't need him. He's a punk. He's a bitch, whatever.
That don't count. He married a schemer, though. If she covered up the Ring cams and took everything, she was scheming from jump.
I gotta be honest. What black-pilled me, it wasn't even the divorced people, because obviously you're getting the worst of the worst. It was the people that would come on my show and talk just like you and the same thing, or the people in my life that would literally say your exact talking points. Like, and I swear it would be so similar to what you're saying, and then the same thing would happen. And then that's when I realized it was over.
If there was an option today where people could pick, hey, I want a modern 2025 marriage with family court options and all that stuff on the one hand, or I could have a biblical option on the other hand, I'd be 100% for biblical marriage. I think you're right. I think biblical marriage is the foundation of a functioning Western civilization. I don't think we can survive without it. I'm not criticizing biblical marriage at all. I'm just observing that today we do not have that.
Well, you don't have it unless you have 2 people who actually believe it, and unless
you have a woman that believes it.
That's the point. That's the point I'm trying, because you guys are talking about divorce court and all these things that I don't even disagree with. But biblical marriage is not biblical marriage if you're married to a woman who is willing to leave on a whim. You were never in a biblical marriage.
Every woman has the option to leave on a whim.
Well, I gotta see the youngest kid hit 12.
I got a few years, and I'll
be careful out there, fellas.
I'll let you know at 8 years for me as well.
Yeah, so that's when I'll take it a little more, but it's got to be, she's got to have as many kids as she wants, because some women will get the second kid at like 38 or something.
Hey, when you got married, my friend, when you got married, did you do the church pre-marriage counseling thing?
No,
right?
No. So to be honest with you, I have not. Our entire marriage has not been a biblical marriage structure. In fact, we went.
I'm not trying to get personal.
Not at all. We've gone through periods where our marriage was not great. Because we had 2 people who said they were Christians who were not living biblical marriage and not living biblical principles.
I get it.
100%. And when we flipped that switch to, and when I say biblical,
you froze.
when I say actually to the point point by point, two people saying, I'm going to do my job and I'm going to do my job, then everything changed. And that's why I'm passionate about it. It's not because I'm like, I'm so special or this or that. I had to go from a struggling marriage to a thriving marriage by actually living out biblical principles and not just saying this is a Christian marriage. Because
all right, first of all, I'll tell you, you're ahead of me because I went through the same process, but it took me 2 marriages and a divorce in the middle. So I consider my marriage today to be a biblical marriage. We're very happy. It's a very traditional type of marriage. I'm the breadwinner. My wife stays home with the kids. Everything works great. It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Awesome. I feel like I'm treated like a king by my wife.
Which is the most important thing, by the way, is respect. If you don't have respect for your
I
wife,
agree, 100%.
You're done already.
100%. In my first marriage, I was treated with contempt by my wife.
That's a nightmare.
Of course, that's what makes it a cancer. But I wonder how many guys. So we went to the pre-marriage church thing where they counsel you on all this, your obligations are this and that and the other thing. But you know what they didn't show us? They didn't show us a stream of videos of guys getting ruined in divorce. Because I bet a lot of guys, if they went through pre-marriage counseling where they showed you the 50-80% divorce rate and the destruction those guys go through and the self-ending rate of that, fathers being denied access to their children, I wonder how many dudes would say, you know what? Dating seems a lot better than this.
And here's the thing. Media for women, these goofy romance movies and rom-coms and Hallmark and stuff.
Where the guy's perfect.
They always end. Oh, yeah, they get together and they kiss and the movie ends. It doesn't show anything after that. It doesn't show them getting married and having to deal with marriage. It always stops right there because that's what women care about the most. Women don't think about the hard work it takes after they get married. Women want to get married but don't want to be wives. It's like a lot of women want to have children but don't want to be mothers now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, the movie set up unrealistic expectations too.
I gotta welcome the great Math. Welcome to the show.
Oh, I wondered if I was getting loud. I thought I was getting bumps at the end of the line.
No, never.
I'm taking notes. You guys are having a conversation about choosing women that don't exist.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
They exist.
Oh my God.
Where are they and how do you make them? This is all top down. This is all like whether
a little bigger. How do I make him? Okay.
Oh yeah, we need Aaron. I was just riding a motorcycle with Aaron a week ago.
I love it.
Put on my glasses for this one.
It's all top down. It all like the way that women behave is modulated by or moderated by the dominant social paradigm. So it's like they have to see women who are behaving well getting lots of like trophies.
Yes.
They have to see women who are mothers and who are like obedient to their husbands getting celebrated, and then they'll get celebrated. But instead they see Bonnie Blue. So now you've got like I don't know what to draw. I'll just do XXX for Bonnie Blue. You've got
just
that.
Bare boobs.
Yeah. You've got that.
Maybe put like a line of men.
Yeah. I have that in here somewhere. I could find that. They have there's these guys right here on zones, the dudes in her past. So yeah, if you want there to be marriageable women, you have to show marriageable women receiving rewards, and we do not do that. Like this is all systematic. We're talking about men making choices. How many choices can you possibly make? Like I had to be really, really forgiving with my choices, and they still all the ones that I liked turned out pretty bad in one way or another.
Where were you fishing?
School. There was one girl that I grew up with. There was, of course, there was the internet. There was people I met socially. It's the standard.
So you have a point. No, I'm not going to say church. But, but you could start there. That's not what I was going to say. But,
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Church is the last stop on the whore train.
Oh God, they're worse.
Church is the lobster trap of marriages.
Secular society has destroyed women. There is zero question about that.
Yeah.
But how do you what's the solution here?
Change the rules.
But that doesn't fix the quality of women that are available to men.
It will.
How?
Because as
women
soon as
abide by the rules.
Yeah, as soon as like aliens land and say everybody is gonna speak this alien language now, women will be like, yeah, I've always done it, and I always I didn't before I knew it before you.
And what's the rule change? You just make marriage binding without.
Yeah, you have to. You have to make marriage the way it used to be, where when you get married, it's for real. Like they make vows about for good times and bad, and then they go, well, I'm not happy. Right? Those are the bad times, right? You're supposed to vow your way through that.
So until 1970, if you wanted to get divorced, you had to go to court and sue. It was civil litigation. It was a big deal. You had a jury and everything.
Okay, what about a high barrier to entry where if a woman wants to get married, she has to give him all of her texts for the last 10 years?
That's exactly where I was going with that.
All of her texts. And he has to have access to all of her social media for all of
But that used to be the way it worked, Pearl, because the guy knew her whole life.
Yeah,
so he knew all this.
Yeah, so now you're marrying like a Cracker Jack prize of a woman that you don't know what you're going to get in the box. And you just have to trust her.
Our friend in the bald hat here. I'm sorry, sir. I don't remember your name. Right below me in the.
It's Jason, right?
Jason.
So you met your wife very young, right? That's a huge advantage.
100%.
That's a huge advantage.
100%.
Because you know that history of her, right? But for many of us, if we're 28, 30 years old, whatever, and we meet a woman we're thinking about marrying, we don't know what the F she's been doing for the last 10 years, and it's probably not good.
And even if they're young, like I know a girl that's 22. And she just ended an engagement because he didn't want her to post a thirst trap. And I'm not.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Think about this. Marriage used
kidding me. Like, sorry,
that's paper thin loyalty.
Marriage used to be a combining of families, right?
Yeah.
So, you would know the girl, she would know you, your family. Now you have people marrying into families that absolutely hate them.
Yeah.
It's like, how's that going to work? Understand what I'm saying? Like
it's not, but why do that in the first place? That's why it's ending.
People do
That's
it.
why it's important to choose the right person.
Mm-hmm. People do it.
Well, the problem is we women, we have a tendency to do this bait and switch where once we get what we want, we just like become different people.
Yep.
I've
had that happen.
Some of the best advice I ever gotten was those who don't have to won't. And once women get married, they don't have to anymore, so they won't.
Let me ask a question. Does it help more if the man dates a lot before he gets engaged or gets married? So
it helps him.
It helps
him
know how to pick, but then it doesn't change who there is to pick from.
But
so,
I was just going to say, I think some of these points are valid, but also in the selection process, whether you're young or older, we enter marriage very cavalierly. We don't have serious discussions. We don't get pre-marriage counseling. We don't agree on a actual set of values. Like we go into marriage like it's like the next step of dating. And a lot of these problems are avoided by actually having a covenant set out of things that are non-negotiables for you, that you need to behave like this, and this is how the marriage is going to be. And then again, I'm fine with a marriage system where you can't just divorce because you had a bad day or because of this or that. I'd be fine with that kind of reform. But I do feel like there's no accountability in this conversation for the man to lead and the man to put structures in place to know what he's getting before he actually puts the ring on her finger.
You go to
so
jail
if we
if
had
you do
honest
that.
marriage if we had honest marriage counseling, it would look like, that little pamphlet that comes with the pharmaceuticals you get at the drugstore, you unfold it into 38 pages of side effects. That's what honest marriage counseling.
Okay, Russia passed a SLAP law. It works wonders. Female testing is evolution in all species. The natural evolutionary response has been removed from that.
Yeah. There have been a ton of times in my life that just a little bit of, slightly illegal activity could have solved a problem. But it's like
what?
Like, you can't like shake a woman and say, why are you behaving like this? Like Sean Connery said, every once in a while you have to slap her a little. You can't say that. You can't even say that these days, or else people will say, oh, you're an abuser.
Sometimes silence is better. Silence works wonders.
Sure, I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, like, withdrawing the relationship is one thing, but there's I don't know. I've had women hit me and been afraid to hit them back. I've had women break my stuff. I've had, I didn't always know how to pick. This has not been happening lately, but like in my early 20s, I've had stuff like that happen, and I feel like not being afraid to show aggression would have fixed that problem.
So let me ask you,
that goes back to my original question: is men walking away from aggressive people, including women, smart or weak?
Well, home math. How tall are you? How big are you? Are you a bigger guy?
I'm a bigger guy. I'm getting older, so I'm a little tubby around the middle right now. But I am muscular and 5'11".
And these bitches has come up and hit you?
Well, when they've been living with me for a while.
I'm 6'2". Wow. I've had them hit me.
Yeah, it's because they know you won't do anything.
Yep, no consequences.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're literally getting in your face. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
That's okay. So, home math. So, what do you think of the original question? We got a little off topic, so I just want to get back. So, do you think that men walking away from aggressive people, this could include women, is smart or weak? The reason I thought of this was because of that video of the ball and that woman crashing out on the guy, where he had the baseball and he just gave it to her.
Oh my God. That's awful.
I also thought of it because I feel as though white Christian males are the least likely to fight back or retaliate.
Yeah, they're the most indoctrinated.
Well, I would say they're the most likely to walk away, and some would argue because they have more to lose. They're busy working,
and their reputation.
To do. Yeah,
they have the worst consequences.
Others would argue, the worst consequences. Others would argue that it's because they're weaker. And I just wanted to see your take. Go ahead.
I think, okay, so it's a complicated answer, but the most true answer is that they're individually smart and collectively weak. So collectively, men are just saying, okay, all right, change all the rules. Like, it all comes back to the rules. Individually, we know if I try to make a stand by myself, the whole society is going to be, against me. That's like, there's a lot of different pairings of types of people that you can, like a transsexual or gay or whatever, wherever you are on the victimization hierarchy, if you're higher than someone else, they can mistreat you and you can't do anything back, because then they'll call in all the dogs and they'll say, you are oppressing me. And then it's not just one person versus one person. It's one person versus the whole apparatus of law enforcement in society. So on an individual basis, white men are just being smart. They're thinking ahead and they're saying, there's no way I'm going to win this in the long run. Like, I could win this individually right now, but in the long run, this is the smart move. But collectively, they're just not doing anything about it.
Why do you think that is? Because I was in a Twitter space the other day, and I was arguing with this Muslim guy, and because I was saying that white men never get to talk about their issues really. And I'm like, there's Black Lives Matter, and I'm like, even the fact that like it's mostly white people protesting for Palestine, like they'll protest for Palestine before they'll protest for white male issues. And I'm like, and then he was trying to argue that Muslims have it the same in London. I'm like, we gave you all of London. What more do you want?
Right.
We've got this whole city. But he was crashing out on me. But my question is why can other groups collectively talk about their issues, but white people don't seem to have, especially white Christians don't seem to have that? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just it's institution. It's institutional power. That's why. Because if Andrew Wilson talks about, I think he calls it force doctrine. I think that's what he says.
Exactly. Yep.
And we all know, like on a really, really deep level, on a deep subconscious level, we know that if we start a conflict with somebody and it escalates and escalates and escalates, it ends up being physical. And so we know subconsciously that if a conflict gets physical, the police are coming, and we can anticipate their decisions. Who are the police going to defend? It's never the white guy.
Every romance movie is about a woman cheating.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they all cry, and they want you to share.
And the guy always takes her back.
Yeah.
I know in the Notebook, both of these these Giga Chads are like begging for this cheating woman.
Yeah, that's the fantasy.
It's like
that's the woman fantasy, right? She wants to be able to cheat, and the guy she cheated on still wants her back.
It's crazy because both of them are like crazy good looking. Like, why are you cheating?
because it makes them watch.
Yeah, I know. God.
That I had a early on, I think I was like 25, 26. I was dating someone who I had known for a long time, and she just didn't like me earlier in life, and then I sort of transformed myself. And I found out that she was cheating on her boyfriend with me, and so then she eventually broke up with him and asked me to be with her, and I was like, "No, you're a cheater." And she was like, "But I'm worth it." That's what she said. And I was like, "No, you are absolutely not." She barely made it over the line before that.
Yeah.
Oh, these marginal broads are the worst.
Yeah. And then
at least
and
if they
then
were
she
really
said,
hot, you could say, "All right, I'll give you that one."
I'll give you a chance.
Exactly. I gave her a chance after she wasn't taking care of herself and spent her money poorly and everything. And I was like, well, I like her for some reasons. And then it became obvious that she would cheat on me the moment that she got the opportunity. And I went, no, that's not even a small percentage as good as I thought it was.
And then it crashed out, huh? Was it a
Yeah.
crash out? Yeah.
Well, she got upset. She didn't like attack me or anything, but she didn't understand it. And then I checked with her 12 years later, and she still didn't understand it. She was cheating on the next guy.
There you go.
He was a serial cheater.
Yeah.
It's like
just
if
a
your next
fantasy.
door neighbor has a shitty car that's always breaking down, and then he decides to offer it to you for sale. It's like, you want to buy my shitty car? It's like,
yeah.
No, I don't think so.
They're addicted to the fantasy. They want to be worth it.
Okay, so I want to know from you guys, what is a situation where you would fight back and a situation where you would not fight back?
Oh,
where in your head are you like?
Well,
yeah,
I agree with
throwing
her.
hands.
I'm not physically fighting a woman unless she's trying to kill me. But that's a different question than will you tell a woman no? Those are two different things. But if it comes to hands-on, I'm not fighting her unless she's trying to stab me or shoot me.
Right. Yeah, I think I would have to not be identifiable.
What about you, Jason?
So from a morality, it's not a morality issue. It's just if you could be identified, practical. Okay. I mean, I don't know how you justify putting your hands on a woman unless she's going to kill you. You just can't justify it in my head.
Yeah.
Unless you're under threat, your family's under threat. Women are smaller. They're not a threat to you unless I guess you're David Hogg or something. Then maybe it's a threat to you. But I think anything else, and I think you're a coward. That's just the way I see it.
Yeah.
And you would say that even if aside from the legal risk, right? Because I'm really speaking of the legal risk.
Yeah, I'm not speaking of legal.
From a moral position.
Right. It could be legal to slap a woman who's screaming at you, and I would still find it morally not.
You are an exceptional man. I really respect that.
That's pretty strong.
I think if it were legal, I think a lot of guys would be throwing hands.
Wait, yeah, let me here. I got one for us to react to. Hold up. Okay, wait. Let me share my screen. Then we can decide together. Equal fight. Okay, here we go. This is Dana.
Oh yeah!
Oh God.
Dana
So
White.
she hits him, and then he hit her.
Equal lefts, equal rights.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember this. It was actually New Year's Eve.
Over here. She's hitting him first. Yeah, so I hope that doesn't copyright this.
You know the funny thing about it, he hit her on beat too. It was right on time with the kick drum.
How about this?
Oh my God.
How about the Ray Rice situation? You guys remember Ray Rice?
That's the elevator situation, right?
Yeah, because what happened real fast. They were together in high school. They broke up in college, and then right when he graduated high school, went to the NFL, he got together with this girl. And in high school, they're physically violent with each other. So they had a couple of kids. They were on Valentine's Day. She said, "Look, I want to spend Valentine's Day by ourselves." He said, "Okay, cool." But then the Ravens were going to have an event in Atlantic City, so he said, "We're going to Atlantic City instead." So she was yelling and screaming at him from Baltimore all the way to Atlantic City. They went to the event. He got drunk. He was pulling her out of the event. She hitting and punching him, and then she spits in his face, and he knocks her out.
Okay, we're going to watch that. Here we go.
Yeah.
Look at the upper edge of the video. Those are Janae's feet walking into the picture. Ray is standing by that pillar. He leans forward as she walks by. Janae flicks her left hand at him. She then heads to the elevator. Ray follows. Notice Janae seems to walk into the wall just before entering. Just before the doors close, a woman walks by. She does not seem to notice anything out of the ordinary.
Oh, she
never
noticed.
appears to look into the elevator. But from the inside, you can see the moment that woman walks by, something happens between Ray and Janae. He hits her with his left hand. As you can see, the doors are still open. As the doors close, she gathers herself and approaches Ray. In that moment,
Oh my God.
he hits her with a left hook. And
That's a different category.
Oh my
He
God.
should be ashamed of himself for that one.
Really?
Then he grabs her under the arms and drags her out,
Look, he's
laying her
helping her.
face down on the ground.
So,
Wow.
so first off,
She still appears to be unconscious.
I want to see him close the
Ray
elevator
goes back
doors
in
on her
for her
legs.
shoe. As he stands over her, the security guard appears.
Turned her into a carpet.
Ray tries
The security guard came.
to sit her up. She slumps back to the ground, but appears to be coming out of it a little. The security guard steps in, and Ray retreats. The guard holds the door while talking to Ray. Janae is gathering herself together. Now, the guard appears to be speaking with Janae. He's talking into his radio. She puts her head in her hand. After a couple of people walk by, Ray approaches Janae and appears to take her shoes. Ray then turns to another man off screen, and while they are talking, others appear, including a woman who is comforting Janae.
I wonder if the security guard asked her, "What did you do? What did you do to make him hit you?"
That's the thing, because she spit. First off, he had to grab her by the arm and pull her out of the event because
He said he barely hit her.
He barely hit her. That was a Mike Tyson left hook, man.
I got pee. Keep going. I just thought
it was an event with all the coaches and all the rest of the players, and she got way too. She's yelling and screaming at him for hours on the way up there. Gets way too drunk. He has to pull her by the arm out of the event. She's swinging at him. She spits in his face.
It's still excessive.
Men are just
even with spitting.
Men are
That's
just
excessive.
expected to have some supernatural amount of patience. Everyone has their limit. And one last thing, they're still married to this day. She stuck by him the whole time. You want to know why? Because she knew she was wrong. She's still with him.
Nah, that was
you think
bro.
that's why she's still with him, and not maybe
Yeah.
it has to do with the NFL career and the money?
Most of the NFL players, they get divorced right after.
No.
Go ahead.
Look, Pearly, he got kicked out of the NFL after this. He's never played again, ever. He lost everything. He's a personal trainer in Philadelphia now, maybe making six figures. His career ended from that moment right there.
You think his training is how to slap women around?
She must not have a father at home. Dude would have to go after something like that.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well,
I'm shocked that her father, if she had a father at home, he wouldn't let her stay with her at the.
You don't think if the father might say, "Hey, if you spit in your husband's face and he slaps you to the ground, maybe you earned it"?
I don't think that was a slap.
That was a left. That was a left hook.
That was a punch.
Yeah, that was a punch.
And I think
you think her father raised her to spit in her husband's face?
Well, of course, I would maybe,
course
and that's
not. I hope
happened. I mean, that's a whole other conversation that we haven't had about women and their
stop
fathers.
sniffing, guys. Come on.
It's a
If you
two-way
spit in
street,
a
right?
guy's face,
Respect,
it's like,
respect.
yeah, you can't.
You spit in your husband's
Yes,
face.
she has
you're not
no
expecting-
she has no respect. She has no dignity. She's godless. And
That's not within the bounds of a biblical marriage, right?
Not
You
at
spit in
all.
Your husband's face.
Zero.
Okay, so
I think
zero. But
I'm
neither is
drawing a
hitting
little
your
thing.
wife. So
Oh,
you're
Matt,
just
go
proving all of these.
right, but
things
who
prove my
broke
point.
open the walls first? He didn't hit her first. He didn't punch her, and then she spit on him.
Well, we don't know what was going on before the video that we saw.
Well, so we don't know.
Yeah, we do.
We can only judge by what we know, right?
Yeah.
What we know is
he pulled
she
her out
spit
of
in
a
his
party
face.
because she was too drunk.
But
She was
biblical.
irate in front of a bunch of people. That's what happened after that, before the video.
You guys want to pick and choose what biblical means. Biblical is not
I'm not-
retribution.
I'm asking you: is spitting
Yeah.
in your husband's face biblical?
Not even close.
Well, I'm asking you.
Unacceptable.
You're
Okay.
telling me it's not biblical.
Unacceptable. Hitting your wife, unacceptable and unbiblical. Both. So you have two people, unbiblical marriage, conflict, violence,
There's
disrespect.
a sequence of events, right? The spit happened
Sure.
first.
Right. Sure.
Okay.
It happened first, but it doesn't mean that he gets to.
You can't even slap a bitch.
You cannot.
I'm trying to divide.
If you want to be
okay,
Go ahead.
In this situation, let's say this. Would he have done the same thing if Shaquille O'Neal spit in his face? If the answer is no, then it wasn't all for him.
No, that's not the right
He's an
question.
NFL
The question
running
is,
back.
if a man of his
he
own
would have fought
size had
Shaquille O'Neal.
spit in his face,
Okay.
what would he have done?
Yeah,
He would have punched that man in the throat.
And
yeah.
Right?
You have to do that. You have to treat men and women different because they're like a physically different constitution. I'm trying to divide types of retaliation into correction and harm.
Okay, go
here.
ahead.
And so
I love old math. I love this.
I have a short list here where under correction you have shaking, slapping, grabbing, pointing. Just like a don't do that again.
No choking.
And then over here, there's the KO. Any use of weapons, no choking. I don't think I would choke a woman unless she asked me nicely. I don't think I would.
Fair enough.
No matter. I don't think even if she did
well, math gets the hose. Sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, how is this working out in dating?
What do you mean in general?
I need you to come back at year 13. You got nothing for me yet.
I mean, I think I.
Oh no, the
he married?
youngest kid has to be 13. Then you can come back with your victory lap. I don't want to hear anything. I've seen men more confident than you go down. Sorry,
and we all hope you will. By the way,
I hope you do. Yeah.
And here's the thing: red pill channels, they can say, "Guys, don't get married. Don't get married." In my lifetime, the majority of men, at least 50%, will get married. It's just we want you to know what's coming if it happens. I don't want to see you crying into the front camera of your phone. Oh my God, she left me and she's taking my kids. You knew I would take it like a man. You knew.
Make an informed decision. That's all we're saying. Make an informed decision.
Yeah, it's like you can just see it coming. Like I told my brothers, I'm like, look, when your youngest kid hits like preschool, I would just expect it. It might not happen. I just expect it,
There ought to be an insurance policy you can buy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because she'll start going to get a job, and then someone's going to be hotter than you at work.
Yeah.
Or she'll start watching some guy. She'll be a trad wife, but she'll start watching like Ben Shapiro and be like, "Why don't you debate like Ben?"
Yeah.
Once you start a
Like,
service,
you're not even just competing with the men at work. You're now competing with the men online.
She'll start shouting
and the
Ben
ones she can
Ben.
contact on Instagram.
Yeah, it's
Ben.
like you don't. She doesn't
Harder,
have to.
Ben.
She doesn't even have to contact them. It could just be on Reels, and she'll be like, "Ooh."
So once you start a business, right, where men they get married, they can place bets on when their wife's gonna divorce them, and when the wife divorces them, if they're close or on the dot, they get a payout.
I want to tell you a story. So there is a friend. I had a friend in London. He's dating this girl, and she said something to him that was so disrespectful. And I just said to him, "If you dump her, I will give you $500 right now to break up with her and never talk to her again." And he took it, and now he's getting married to a different girl. He got a new girlfriend like 30 days later.
Was she better?
Oh God, yeah. No, she was way better. She was like thinner, nice. This girl was so. You ever see a guy that's just like demasculated constantly?
Yeah,
And I was like, please, and I was just like, please, I will give you $500 right now if you just never talk to her again. And he took it.
I've never tried paying them.
Yeah, I think at that point, the men, they do the cost benefit analysis.
Yeah.
Like the money's on the
week's pay,
dresser.
yeah.
Oh. Andrew, how much money would you have needed to divorce your wife for wife one?
How much money?
Yeah, like if someone said that to you in your first marriage when it was really on the rocks.
I literally gave up every penny I owned. I was 40 years old, post-divorce, and dead broke. That's how much that divorce was worth.
Yeah.
Did you have to start over in a studio apartment with an air mattress?
It was a two-bedroom apartment. Thank you very much.
There you go. Let's go.
I had an air mattress. Yeah.
And And the women loved it, huh? Yeah.
Well,
We
not
love
very
a
long
poster.
afterwards, as a 40-year-old, I was dating the 25-year-old who I'm married to today.
Yeah.
There you go.
We love a post-divorce man where we could just come in and like save you or whatever. We don't actually, but we will take the credit. Do you know what I mean? Sorry.
Most men, your life begins after divorce in that 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment with no furniture, with only 2 or 3 boxes to your name. Maybe you kept your car, but that's where your life starts, guys, right there.
So does it work better if the woman's younger?
No, because do you know what? You get 2 problems. It's yes, it does if you can outcompete all the men she's comparing you to.
Yeah.
The challenge you get with the 2 young is sometimes they feel like they missed out. I wish we didn't, but that is like it's like under, I think 21 is like one of the highest divorce rates, sadly.
I mean, I'll say it worked for me, but I don't recommend it as a plan. It's like if I feel like I got the last chopper out of Vietnam. I feel like I won the lottery. So the lottery is not a retirement plan, right? So just because someone wins the lottery doesn't mean they know how to do it right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Math, what do you got for me? So, like, are we hitting bitches or no?
Well, I mean, not as long as it can ruin your life.
Okay,
this
go
is
ahead.
all. This is all theoretical.
Okay.
It's just, you know, if it didn't wreck your life, you know, what would it be okay and not okay to do?
Okay.
Because, you know, the question is men walking away from aggressive people smart or weak? It's like, if you are, you know, an average or maybe below average guy and you are with an average or below average woman and, you know, they have problems and it gets to that point and you have to do some light correction and you are going to go to jail for it, obviously you don't do it. If you're not going to go to jail for it and then you walk away, that's weak. You know, letting people walk all over you. But like what that guy, well, who's that guy who just like turned his wife into a rug?
What?
In the elevator?
Ray
Rice.
Ray Rice.
Yeah, that's
Lost
like
everything.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to knock her out ever. Like she's not a threat to your life. She's just being a bitch.
Well, I don't know why you date a guy like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure who that is.
I mean, you're dating like you know, it's just those guys are kind of like that. Go ahead.
Dude's a freaking NFL running back.
Yeah.
Top freaking 0.01%.
Oh, he's
he
NFL.
Tackles people for a living, runs the ball. This guy could literally take people out with his bare hands, and you're gonna spit in his face? Come on, man. And yes, Ray Rice could beat up Shaquille O'Neal. I guarantee it.
There is a certain degree of arrogance and entitlement on the part of the woman, isn't there? I mean, come on.
Absolute narcissism.
She didn't date an accountant. You know what I mean? She dated the NFL running back.
I need to go get, speaking of wives, I need to go get to my wife. So can I make one closing point?
Yeah, go ahead.
And then you guys can roast me when I hop off.
I thought you were great, man. I appreciate
it. So this is all I'm going to say, because I appreciate you guys humoring like the actual Christian conservative opinion, because none of the stuff that we're talking about incorporates that at all, to be honest. So this is what I would say, is that it's easy to roast biblical marriage as a reasonable alternative. But at the same time, what I'm hearing from everybody involved here is that actual biblical marriage is not at all at top of mind when you're dating, who you're looking for, the standards that you're setting in place. You're not even taking that into account. And then you're being like, look at all these people getting divorced and I can't find a good woman and this or that. But you're actually not like, you're not playing by the playbook that I'm talking about. So therefore, how could you even disprove that it wouldn't help you in your search to find a good, virtuous woman to spend your life with and treat it as a covenant under God, and not treat it as, hey, I'm going to wake up and divorce you and take everything I have. So that's all I would say, is that I don't think, until you've done it, if you do it and you're like, hey, you're wrong, I did exactly what you said. I opened the Bible with my wife, or who I wanted to be my wife, and we went through it and we agreed that these were our roles, and this is, you're going to treat me with respect. You're not going to talk down on me. You're not going to do these things. And she was like, yes. And then she didn't do it. Then come to me and be like, you're full of it. but you haven't, and so therefore it's hard to like take. We're talking about hitting women. It's like obviously that's not biblical. Like do that, and you're probably not.
That's not a commandment exactly.
Being against violence of all forms outside of self-defense and righteousness and justice, it actually is. It's not. I don't think it's even debatable, to be honest. There are certain instances for violence in the Bible.
The 10 Commandments don't say don't use force.
Well, right. It's not in the commandments, but the Bible is a lot more than the 10 Commandments. You have to go through the text.
There's a lot of violence in the Bible.
Yes, and there are times for violence that it lays out clearly. There are times for justice. There are times for executions. There are times for a lot of stuff. Hitting your wife because she
would you spank a child? Can I ask you, would you spank a child who is misbehaving?
So I personally don't spank. I'm not opposed to it. Like
I'm not trying to be critical.
No, no. I don't spank, but I'm not opposed to it. But
so why wouldn't you? A wife isn't that much different than a child. Why wouldn't you spank a wife?
Let's go. Angie, let's go.
I adhere to in my personal life, I adhere to what the Bible says, that the Lord's soul hates those who love violence and those who impart violence.
No, but spanking a child isn't violence.
It's not loving violence. Yeah.
I don't think spanking a child developmentally is helpful if you have good, godly, strong discipline and strong leadership.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
So I don't adhere to that. So I wouldn't spank my child, wouldn't spank my wife.
All right, but so you wouldn't do it. But would it be fair to say that it's possible for someone to be a biblical parent, a biblical parent, and spank their child when it's misbehaving? You wouldn't say that's a sin,
correct?
If they're doing it out of love for proper corrective purposes, right?
Correct.
Not abuse.
In the child-parent relationship, I see very differently than a husband-wife relationship, which is one flesh. You've
never seen a wife that needs correction like a child?
Of course, wives need correction, but there is a way to lead in a godly way. And if you are an effective leader of your house and you command respect, you do not need to shake your wife. You do not need to slap your wife. She will respond to your leadership and submit to your leadership.
Isn't leadership shaping your wife?
Shaping?
You said shaping. You used
shaking,
that word.
shaking. With a
no, I said you don't
shaking,
need to
shaking.
shake.
Sorry.
Because he mentioned that sometimes you got to shake your
yeah.
wife. If you're an effective leader and she submits to your leadership, you will not need to shake your wife or to hit her to get her to submit to your leadership. That's the point.
Okay.
If you do, you're a bad leader. And I think again, like no male accountability here in the conversation, in my opinion, that if you're a bad leader and she doesn't submit to your leadership, honestly, that's your fault. That you need to be a more effective leader.
On the planet.
Hey man, I know you got to go, but before you go, I just want to say I really enjoyed this. So this was a lot of fun.
I appreciate it. I don't mind being the odd man out at all.
I'm a lawyer, so I'm argumentative by nature.
You
guys
were.
You didn't take it personally, and I thought it was very insightful.
You guys were respectful, and I appreciate it for sure. And I appreciate you, Pearl, for having me on and letting me do my thing.
Thanks. Come on anytime. All right.
All right, thanks. And make sure to pencil me in. How old does my son have to be?
Like I'll give you 13, the youngest.
13. Okay, I got it. I'm gonna put it on my
50. You're good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it on my calendar.
All right. I'll see you. Bye.
Right.
Oh my God! I sure hope it's not his son who's the next guest.
It's really good. Women want to be.
It don't want bad.
Women want to be disciplined, then watch you dismantle police in front of her, but she lacks the foresight to understand it ends in jail or death.
I think that's right. Homath, what do you think?
That's what's going on subconsciously. They just want to see. They want to see you be like a big lion that can handle anything. But it's the subconscious mind. So her subconscious mind doesn't understand that it's asking you to beat up 8 cops and then stay out of jail.
She doesn't know she's thinking it. It's Homath, you did a great takedown of that video, the chick who had the sword under the chin, right? All women want is they want a man to step up and put that sword tip under their chin and raise them up. It's like, that's how women subliminal minds, their subconscious mind, that's how it works. It's just evolutionary biology.
Yeah, it doesn't always take the same form. I forgot the guy's name who just left, but what he was just saying is if you exercise leadership, then she'll fall in line. there's always force behind this force doctrine. It's just like Andrew said. There's implied force. So when you and your wife are disagreeing, and if you're an appropriate leader and you don't ever have to be physical, and you say, this is the way it is, and she goes, okay, she gives up what she wants and follows you, it always comes down to force. It always comes down to, I better not escalate this because then something worse could happen.
Yep.
And she has to respect you for that. So it's like when women are doing their testing, it's like, I don't respect you right now.
I don't cha-cha sissy girls from Nerd Poison. Okay. W Smash Bros. Boss Hand Homath. Okay.
Hey, can I ask Homath to address a point he just touched on, because I think it's so important. Sure. It's that women test their men all the time. It's actually a survival factor from evolutionary biology.
Lions
They're
do
testing
it.
their men to make sure their men are not pussies.
Yep. Even animals do it. Yep. Then they don't know they're doing it. They just sort of feel cranky, and they just go nah, 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 nah. And then well, that's what they sound like. And then if you do the appropriate thing in return, which like a lot of guys will say that it's just sex, like rough sex in particular, then she goes, oh well, then now I'm satisfied. Now I feel like you're strong again.
Yeah.
And guys, there are other parts of the world. There are other parts of the world where men still correct their wives using good old-fashioned what's been used for thousands of years. In fact, a lot of Western women, they travel and they figure out that men will correct women outside of the West.
Yeah.
You have whole travel towns and influencers saying, ladies, if you're from the United States and you go to Singapore or you go to Nigeria, you get in some guy's face, you're going to have a problem.
But it's a different legal structure.
Yeah.
The laws are different.
I know a video. Can you pull up the 8-ball jacket video where the guy smacks the girl on the train in New York City?
I got it.
That's a good one.
Yep, I got it.
All these men slapping women. It's like, that's the good one. I want to see some women's heads rock back.
It was a special situation.
Are you putting in the Google Doc?
Yeah, I got it right here.
With the correction, what happened to finesse though? Does it always have to be physical violence?
No, it's a last resort.
Okay. Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah.
So
8-ball.
This is peak internet right here.
All right.
And look at the size difference. That's the crazy part.
What you mean? Like, what you talking about? Stay over there. Yeah.
And look at her friends cackling. And this guy's 6'7".
That came out in 1990.
We can already know how this is going to end.
Get your money up. Simple. I'm done. I'm just done. Get your money up. All right? All right? You want to know how shoes I got when I got Steve Adams on?
Nobody wants Steve Adams no more.
Why you still traffic? Bitch,
The hyenas are at them.
You petty as hell. You can't even afford this now. Nobody watching you. What you doing that for? I don't know when you get mad.
Loud video.
You sound stupid.
Fucking dirty bitch. Damn.
You know me?
Oh, that's all.
Everyone just scrambled. Yeah.
That was a smack heard around the world.
It's like, why doesn't anybody ride public transportation?
That's why you stay away from New York. New York City is the biggest toilet on the planet.
Oh my
Take
God.
the subway, it'll be fine.
I'm never going back.
I lived there for 20 years, man. It was miserable.
I lived there
actually
for
left
1 year.
fighting. Yeah.
I missed it kind of.
The last fight I had was in New York City, saving a guy's life who was getting attacked by a homeless guy with a brick. Was the actual last fight I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't miss New York that much anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no thanks.
It was pretty good in the 1990s.
Yeah.
Even the early 2000s was good when I was
It went
there.
bad quick.
Yeah.
But yeah, so when you're talking about women and men walking away, women have created this problem where they've been pushing equality for so long that a lot of the Gen Zers and younger boys honestly think that women are equal and they will put hands on them.
Yeah.
Honestly, like you can't have this whole men shouldn't hit women, but then women pushing that women are equal to men. You can't do
the
it.
men know the women aren't equal. They just know that the women have the law behind them.
No, Andrew. What I'm saying, you're not understanding what I'm saying. Gen Z and younger boys are more likely to hit women because they've been raised that women are equal to them.
Oh, is that right? Is that
yes,
true?
100%. Yep. Yep. I have nephews, and they're like, "Man, I dare a girl put a hand on me." But that's what happens when you put that thought into women, and women are raised to young girls are raised to think that they're equal, so they'll put their hands on men. And then boys think that they're equal, and they'll put their hands back. So there you go. It's
maybe
quality.
the pendulum is swinging back in the right direction.
Pendulum. I think the whole clock fell down the stairs like 40 years ago. I'm not sure if anything's swinging back. I don't know how we're going to get any of this into law. Like, as long as the laws are this way, they're kind of. I personally, I tend towards conspiracy thinking. I think that there are people designing laws deliberately to dismantle society. So
absolutely,
that
100%.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you, as a lawyer who's been around a bit, that's exactly there are whole NGOs, there are whole law groups around who they'll spend a decade designing statutes for their own political purposes. The moment they get political superiority, they pass all those statutes into law.
Yeah. Why do they do that?
Why not? It's actually a very effective strategy.
A strategy for what, though? Like, what are they trying to accomplish? They just want to destroy America?
Oh yeah, pretty much, right. They have a vision of America that's non-viable, but it's their vision nonetheless. It's like communism, it's like socialism, it's like all these things that can't work. They've never worked. We've tried it 100 times.
Always
and tens of millions of people die, but they still have the vision.
I think it's just like they want to make their wives happy. And like they're like
You
the
think?
wives are in their ear and they're like,
No,
"We
today
can
it's women doing this now. It's women lawyers, women judges, women legislators. It's
that makes more sense.
Yeah.
You have to remember, once the 19th Amendment was passed, the majority of the population is women. So the majority of the voting population is women. So the moment women can vote, 51% of the population that's voting is women. You've just suddenly become a woman majority electorate. And women, I think we can all agree, they see the world differently. They feel differently about things. They view things differently. They make different decisions and calls than men would make. So you end up with a very different society.
They're a lot more subconscious. They have lunar consciousness, if you want to get into the spiritual, the esoteric aspect. Women have more of they're the moon and men are the sun, and men will just come right out and say, this is how things are, this is what I want, this is what I'm doing, and women will just say, here's an excuse for a feeling I have, and then they'll write that into law without ever knowing what they're doing.
Right. And frankly, for good reason. I mean, home math know this, but of course, from evolutionary biology, women have to get along, right? Women can't go out and hunt and kill the enemy. They need men to do that. Women are back in the village raising the kids. And if they can't, if they're excluded from the female tribe, they die. Their children die. So they have to get along with the other women. It's a much more cooperative. I'm not going to get in your face. I'm not going to be explicitly hostile. Men will punch each other in the face for an hour and then be best friends afterwards. Women don't operate that way.
No, you wear the same dress and then you're not friends anymore for the rest of your life.
Right.
I have that illustrated over here. I got the women holding hands.
I have another reaction on the document, if you can. This is what's going on with the young ones out there, and
it's gonna take me a second to pull it up.
Hey, home math, I sent you a message in the private chat. If you take a look at it before you go.
Oh, okay, cool. Gotcha.
Oh wait, we got another one. Who wants to see more women getting hit today?
Why not? That last one was funny. How they all scattered like cockroaches.
Hey, in fairness, they earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh! Disrespect me, nigga. My name's Peter Mills.
She's ready for marriage now.
And you know what's crazy? That adrenaline, she's gonna stay with him forever.
Mm-hmm.
We just fall in love with whoever gives us the most ups and downs, you know?
Yeah.
So like if you get beat by your boyfriend, yeah. I mean, I think they did a study on that where they said like women who were beat by their boyfriends were more likely to stay.
Yeah, they like them more.
Yeah. I mean,
I would hear.
if you get your wife to stay, you just gotta hit a bit.
I would hear stories back in the day where they would say women didn't think you loved them if you didn't hit them.
Yeah.
That's what a guy said. Probably like back in the 80s, I heard something like that, or early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the dark, very dark underbelly of human psychology that we're ignoring. Everyone wants to live in the smiling, happy, holding hands world, and we just don't, and we don't acknowledge that.
Have you guys, just the men, but have you never had women who like deliberately acted badly and you just ignored it and let it go, and they look at you and they say, "Aren't you going to fight for me?"
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
I have.
Oh, a couple.
Yep.
They're goading you. They're testing you. This is the testing we turned about earlier. Women are always shit testing their men. They need to. And again, this is evolutionary biology, right? The women live or die depending on the quality of their men. So they're shit testing their men to make sure they have the right one. And they'll shit test you, and they're watching your responses. And they don't know they're doing it. They don't consciously know. They don't wake up and say, "I'm going to shit test my man today." They just get a mood and they do it.
Yep.
But they know if you failed.
Here's the problem, though. No, here's the problem. If you react and you react the same way they do, they lose all respect for you.
Yeah.
Because why would they respect you if you respond the way they do? That means you're acting like a woman. So that's why I would usually choose the silent treatment. Walk away.
Got the silent treatment right here.
Yep.
Wait.
Oh shit! Wait, can you blow that up some?
This is
need it.
one of my
firewall.
This is one of my merch designs that sells the most. This is the what I use to instruct men to, like, she's gonna do this. Like, she's gonna say, "I want you to date me. I want you to date me," and then you do, and she goes, "Go to hell. I'll kill you." And then you have to just go, "Okay, all right. Are you done?" And just wait. Like, wait for her to tire herself out.
Yep.
You can't react emotionally because then she'll say you're weak.
It's like sleep training. You gotta let them cry themselves to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
As a man, you can't engage in that back and forth stuff. She'll lose respect for you instantly.
It's not enough for some of them. I dated a girl once who did this to me, and I've always been very good at conflict resolution. I'm just very good with my words. So she would create a problem, and then I would just use some words to like make it a good thing, and she would go, "Well, that sucks. I didn't want it to be good. I wanted you to fight with me. Why won't you fight?" And I would just go, And
well, that's part of.
There's a lot of women. The silent treatment doesn't work.
Well,
they want the argument.
Yep.
That's when you have to know you're out of your depth, and you need to leave her alone. Pick another one.
That's why I didn't commit to that one. Yeah.
So I had a roommate. Don't get another.
I had a roommate one time. He was dating this older woman. We were in our 20s, and she was in her late 30s, and she was a really pretty woman. But she had bad relationships in the past.
No kidding.
We were at this bar, and she drank a little too much and started getting kind of rowdy. And he grabbed her by the arm, but pulled her outside. And there's an alley between the buildings, right? And she's in the alley, like yelling, "What are you gonna do? Hit me? What are you gonna do? Hit me? What are you gonna do? Hit me?" And so he's trying to talk her down, and she's yelling and screaming and stuff. And people are walking by, and I look outside, and he's literally in the alley with this girl yelling in his face for her to hit him.
Yeah.
And so he says you get to go home, and she went home, and he's like, "Man, I told myself I'd never be the guy who's in the alley fighting with this girl with people walking by looking at him like he's doing something crazy.
Yeah, it's a disgusting feeling.
But I was that guy tonight. I was that guy. I said, yes, you were. Yeah.
And if some random dude had walked by and hit her, she would have left with that dude.
I know a woman who purposely started drama to get my cousin to react. I asked her why she did that. She said to make sure he wasn't a punk.
Yeah.
True story.
Some of them know. Some of them know what they're doing.
In the animal kingdom, when the male can't check the weaker female in a day, is the day he can't keep her and the kids safe. Nature doesn't have stepchildren.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized that some women deserve to get hit. When I dated somebody who after me that got a DV charge, and I was like, that's kind of weird. He never hit me. He was like fine with me. And
it's
like some girls just bring it out of them. Like,
some girls just want it.
I was just chilling.
Yeah, but as a man, you gotta control that. You gotta control that anger as a man. Take that anger, turn it into words.
Yeah.
But everyone has their limits, though, bro. Like, you can't tell me that men are, especially in our community, like the men show supernatural levels of restraint with our sisters, our mothers, our girlfriends, our baby mamas, dude. Come on. No one is more patient than us when it comes to women. Come on.
We have to use our words because we'll go to prison if we don't use our words.
Yes.
But that's a different question then. Would society be better off if a woman could go off the rails and her man could slap her once across the face and that would straighten her out? Would that be a better society?
Yes.
I agree. I wish I could slap a bitch from time to time.
Yeah. I think you can.
If
I don't think anyone's going to fault
you would not go to prison for it. I'm not talking about beating a woman or abusing her.
From myself, I said, I just wouldn't do it.
I just had to pay somebody to go to court for a lawsuit because of words said.
Oh,
geez. Like I want to go the physical route. No,
right?
I don't want to pay for it. That's my problem.
We live in a very weak society that wants safety. It just wants everything to be nice and safe.
I feel like if
I'm gonna win this. It's okay. I'm gonna win this case too. It's like such an easy shut and dry. Like, but
can you share?
I still have to. Yeah, I mean, it basically some guy came on my show and told his divorce story. And his ex-wife is a crazy woman who basically said that she's not a public figure and she was doxxed, even though she was a public figure and wrote a book about her divorce.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, like I'm not even kidding. Did speeches, went on talk shows. And this guy, to be honest, Andrew, he kind of reminds me of your archetype. Like you guys are the same age. You guys are both happy-go-lucky guys. So she has this monster on the public, and he comes on my show, and he's just like smiling like Andrew. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like he's a successful guy too. You know, it's just you guys kind of remind me of each other. And now I'm paying to go to court, and he's paying to go to court, and we're gonna win. I don't think we're gonna lose, but
it depends who you get, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's just such a bullshit case. Even the fact that I'm getting I'm like, I didn't even say anything. I just interviewed the man.
Yeah.
But,
well, they use the process as the punishment, right? So the risk of losing can be very low, but it's never zero. And the cost of fighting is definitely never zero, right? You're experiencing that now.
Yeah, I'm like, is this bitch gonna pay for my lawyer for wasting my time?
No.
Yeah. Even if you win, you lose.
Yeah,
that's the thing about prenups. So you could just get a prenup. Angie knows how much a woman can, even just challenging a prenup. She knows that she's not going to be able to break it, but she can take you to court. It'll cost you money for her. Oh, I didn't know what was when I said I didn't know what understand meant when I said I understood what I was signing. Just that alone.
All right. So
court fees.
Here's the lowdown on prenups. It's possible to make a prenup that is genuinely ironclad. It's possible to do it. Okay, that's impossible to break. Except a prenup can never protect you from child support. The children, if you have children with her, the children have rights that are independent of any prenup you signed with the mother. So when the moment you have children, that all of that is outside the prenup. And if you want a prenup to be ironclad, you need a very good lawyer doing it for you. You can't have some mediocre lawyer doing it. He has to know exactly what he's doing and what's going to survive. So it's theoretically possible, but the moment you have a child with that woman, it opens the door to all kinds of monetary compensation because the child has interest independent of the prenup.
But it's monetary compensation that's not including alimony, right? Just child support.
The prenup can cover alimony, right? So you can define and restrict the alimony.
Okay.
But you have to remember, the judge in divorce court is often a woman. And if she knows that you've managed to cut off alimony, she may make up for it with child support.
Yeah.
You understand? So you end up paying the same amount?
Well,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Remember, you're not divorcing a woman. You're divorcing a woman and a legal system.
Yeah.
And yet some men still think it's worth it to get the nagging to stop.
Yeah.
You mean the divorce? I can tell you from my experience, when I decided to get divorced, I was 40 years old. I had 2 kids, 13-year marriage. When I decided to get divorced, I made a decision. The only thing that mattered to me was having joint custody of my kids. And I went to my then wife and I said, listen, we have a house, we have these assets, we have this property. I will give you everything without a fight as long as we have joint custody of the kids, as long as we don't fight about that. And she took that deal. So I left that marriage 40 years old, dead broke, but I had joint custody of my kids.
Hmm.
And I always figured I could make more money, which of course is what I ended up doing. And I didn't lose time with my children, but it cost me financially everything. Now, I don't know how old you guys are, but imagine you work your whole lives to 40 years old. And I had a pretty successful life till 40. And then at 40, you press a button and all the money goes whoop, to zero.
Yeah. I've thought about it.
So did she ever try to like bring you back to court when your income went up in the future? Or like
no, because I was very careful about crafting the divorce agreement. So there's ways to write the divorce agreement where that door is left open, and there's ways to craft a divorce agreement where that door is solidly shut. And I made sure it was solidly shut.
That's smart.
That's what happened with that NBA player who paid his $1.7 million in child support all the way up front, and now his ex is mad that she'll never be able to get another cent out of him because he just signed some new contract. Yeah, yep.
What are you making there, Homath? What do you got for me? I see something you're cooking.
This was, I mean, I'm just illustrating what we're talking about. This one was from a little while back where those people running away from the fight on the train there were, it's just like thinking about the future, you know, higher IQ and being able to project what's going to happen makes you make your decisions based on what's going to happen years from now. What's my life going to be like years from now? That's what I think every time I've gotten in a few situations where I was about to get in a fight, or I did get in a fight once, and I had to think about, how's this going to affect my life in the long run? There are people who cannot do that, and they just respond immediately. And so this is why, like, putting women in charge and giving them power selects for people who have lower IQ and cannot think about the future, because they just act out, and women are like, that was hot.
You know what? Someone asked me, because I said I think the IQ tests are lying, because they say that women have like similar IQ to men, or like men are both on opposite ends and women aggregate in the middle. And someone was like, well, how can you tell that they're lying? And I'm like, I have eyes.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing though. The chart that you're talking about, where it's like, let me get a pink.
Welcome
to it's like two normal curves, 2 bell curves, but the male is spread wider.
Yeah, the male is spread wider. Let me get the pink. So like, this is an exaggeration. It's not really like this, but women are concentrated towards the middle, and men have more idiots and more geniuses and less in the middle. And these tests you're talking about, they have the same average, but that's because they're controlling for height. So the taller you are, the bigger your body is, the bigger your brain is, bigger your brain, more IQ. And men are taller. So men do have a slightly higher average when you don't control for height.
Well, I mean,
the other thing to keep in mind too is,
like, I just don't even believe that. You know, I think like, I've just noticed everything in life, they always like shield us from failing. So why would an IQ test be different? You know what I mean? It's
there's some of that for sure.
That's just what I think. Like I was just in Chicago and I was interviewing all these women with marketing jobs, and I'm like, this is just babysitting for adults. Like,
Yeah,
like women, we couldn't even do sales, so they made marketing for us.
Oh no,
we have boobs, and we couldn't do sales.
But
They just-
it's
And
funny
they
'cause
said,
it's
and then
true.
they said, you don't have boobs, that's fine. You could buy them for like $8K. We're like,
Jesus.
no, what's a mark? Can we just run Facebook ads? Can you make
Yeah.
that for us, guys?
Yeah.
What's your take on Jay Rello slapping a working girl in Kenya for not leaving?
Well,
Doug
you
and
pay her to
Jake,
leave.
can you find the clip? Is there a clip on it?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
trying to right now.
Okay, go ahead.
A working girl means like a working girl, right? Like
a prostitute, right?
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Yeah, I've been trying to look
one
at
thing
this,
that's-
but I can't find anything.
One thing that struck me increasingly in recent years is, the average IQ is basically defined at 100, right? They just find the average,
Yeah.
they label that 100.
We
And
need a
most
better
of us
system.
in our community, if the people we normally deal with probably have IQs of like 120, 130, maybe 140.
Yeah.
But that means on the opposite side of that 100, there's an 80 and a 70 and a 60.
Mhm.
I mean, there are a lot of people out there who are really not much smarter than a cattle dog.
Yeah.
And yet we're socially conditioned to interact with them as if for politeness purposes, as if they're capable
smart,
of
yeah.
thinking 3 chess moves ahead. But they're not. I mean, this is the Andrew Wilson question, right? How would you feel today if you didn't have breakfast this morning?
Yeah, the breakfast question. Yeah.
They're literally incapable of envisioning even that. And yet we pretend these people are capable about making societally important decisions.
I know you're like, ladies, is Lizzo fat? And they're like, no,
She's a 10.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're just as smart as men. I'm like, are we? Like,
Yeah, really. No, it's not true. The level of IQ that you need to do impressive jobs like doctor, lawyer, engineer, you find like 4 times as many men who are capable of that. So when you're out in the world looking around at people who are, impressive in intelligence, it's going to be just a lot more men than women, and everyone else blends into the background, because they just say the same dumb stuff.
I will tell you as a lawyer, I don't think much of most other lawyers. I think most lawyers are not very good. But of the lawyers I know who are good, and some of them are women, but I would agree it's about a 5-to-1 ratio of lawyers who I consider top shelf who are men versus women. It's not that women can't do that, but it's a small fraction of the percentage of men who are doing it.
Yep.
Peru IQ test, we need segregation of inner monologue from the non. The NPC is real, and they are making decisions without having a thought process.
I love hearing about people who don't have an inner voice.
It's so
they literally don't have thoughts.
Andrew,
yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Andrew.
that sounds so nice. That's what I thought.
And
I've heard stories about that where like people will say that they don't exist when other people are not around. It's like, how do you even have thoughts when you're by yourself? And it's like, what do you mean? Well, like, when there's no one around to tell you something, what do you react to? And it's like, well, the things I'm thinking about.
Right.
And they don't have
And
that.
that's the norm.
Andrew,
yeah, it's common.
It's not
What
the
you're
norm
saying-
for our community, but it's a norm for humanity.
Yeah.
What you're saying about women and lawyers in 2024, 56.2% of law students are women.
I know, but they're not good lawyers.
Yeah.
How scary is that?
Doug, is this the is it the Instagram one? Is that it?
No.
Oh, I didn't know if you put the video. I didn't. Okay.
That's a whole different one. I wanted you to watch, but I can't find this Jay Rello guy. I
Oh, it's
can't.
okay. That's all right. If you had it, it's cool. If not, it's not
But
okay.
click on the one
90% of lawyers are
on
bad.
that Instagram one though. I want you to show it.
But of the top 10% who are not bad, it's about a 5-to-1 ratio men to women.
What makes a good lawyer?
Actually, go to the Facebook one first, and then do the Instagram one. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's mostly IQ. It's mostly problem-solving ability. But we live in a world where we've created 1,000 law schools, and we tell everyone they can be a lawyer, and so we funnel all these people through law school. They get a degree. Maybe they even pass the bar exam, and so they're out there practicing law. But they don't actually have the critical thinking ability necessary to be a good lawyer. Now, in fairness, most law problems are not super complicated. Most law problems, you can have a subpar lawyer and he'll do fine. But if it's something that's important to you, if it's your divorce or it's your retirement or if it's something that's important to you, you don't want one of those fucking mediocre lawyers. Trust me.
Yeah.
And also, one more thing to say: we're in what I call the great experiment, where women feminists have rewritten history, and have had they've romanticized work, and they made women think that men always work in these air-conditioned offices,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So women want to try on jobs. They want to try on STEM. They want to try on medicine. They want to try on law, and they want to try it on for a couple of years, and if they don't like it, they want to try something else.
Yeah,
Whereas
they think it's a fashion item.
Exactly.
By the way, I would point out too that small group of women I would consider top tier lawyers. They're not women that men marry.
Oh,
right.
They are men. They are men who just happen to be biologically women, but they are not women who highly successful men marry as their wives.
Agreed.
They're the ones that. Do you know what?
They're super aggressive. I mean, they're tough bitches. Who wants to marry that?
They gotta go for like the personal trainers that are broke and just need money.
Mostly they do that for like 2 years. They get divorced and they just stay single.
Well,
it's for fun, yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on.
But ended in a. It started as a footy finals celebration, but ended in a sickening confrontation. A Brisbane Lions fan waved his scarf in the face of a passing woman who lashed out. His response sent her flying.
Disgusting. I think it's vile.
What, bitch?
What? It gets better.
Oh yeah.
What is that?
It's like a okay reaction to have. It's disgusting to see. And just like went to like push him away to just be like, leave me alone.
Why are their faces fun? How fat are these women?
And then punched me.
The confrontation happened on September 21 after Brisbane beat Geelong in the prelim final.
There was a lot of them, so that was just really intimidating.
Polly, an English tourist, had been out celebrating her time here in Melbourne with a friend. Instead, she was left in hospital with a broken jaw days before her 20th birthday.
It was really scary because, like, obviously this isn't my country. I had stitches going from, like, the left side of my cheek all the way, like, round to, like, here.
After a cross-border manhunt for the Brisbane Lions fan, late today, he handed himself into police. He'll now give his side of the story before investigators decide on what happens next. Cassie Zerva.
You have got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
She punched him. She turned around and punched him and stood right in front of him. That's women now, right there. And you're supposed to just sit there and take it. And I'm telling you, now more than
she
ever.
wasn't exactly wearing a nun's habit.
Women are going to run into the wrong one, man.
Andrew, in a situation like that, can he claim self-defense?
I don't think so.
So
let's go based off American law, because
I understand, but self-defense is defending yourself against an attack that's about to happen to you, right? Yeah. If I were to punch you and then I stopped and you hit me back, that would just be retribution on your part. That wouldn't be self-defense.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It would only be self-defense for you if you had a reason to believe I was about to follow up the first punch with a second punch. But if I punched you and just said, "Ha, just joking," and you punched me in the face, which you would definitely want to do, right? If you punched me in the face after I did that, that wouldn't be self-defense. That would be just not legally. That would just be retribution.
But then couldn't you also sue her for hitting you first?
Yes. Like, of course, yeah. That's a battery. That's a crime.
Yeah, okay. But then she could. So now in that case,
but the prosecutor is going to be a woman. So
yeah.
Well, is there some doctrine about equal force? Like he can only hit her as hard as she hit him, or something?
Well, he can only use proportional force, but he can only use the force necessary to stop her. But if she hits and stops, what is he stopping after that?
Right.
Nothing. Right.
Just embarrassing.
If she's not trying to come at him again. If she hits him and then comes at him again. Well, he can stop that again with the force necessary to stop her. But I didn't see that, right? She hits him, she stands there, and he slaps her down. That's a hard sell for self-defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be this hard to describe. It's like, if there's something coming at you, then, you put it down. If there's a man attacking you, you could knock him out. If there's a woman attacking you, you just, probably shouldn't knock her out like that one guy in the elevator.
You can shove her back, you can strike her, you can block her, you can do what's reasonably necessary to avoid getting struck by her attack.
Yeah, but when it's over, it's over. Like
Right,
that guy
yeah.
who
No,
I
your
can't remember.
privilege to use force ends the instant you're no longer being subject to a physical threat.
Okay,
Like
Andrew, when can I hit a bitch?
When can you? You asking me professional? Am I on retainer now, Pearl?
Yeah. So when, like, how far does my female privilege go? Like, what do I
When
get?
you are in reasonable fear of imminent unlawful harm from that bitch, you can hit her.
Okay, so if she gets in my face and is growling at me, can I hit her?
Yeah, maybe that's
Probably, yeah.
enough, right? The trouble is, here's the catch. When it comes to self-defense, it's not you deciding whether what you did was lawful, right? It's other people who are not there, who are not associated with the event. So it's the police,
look at
the
it later.
prosecutor, the judge, the jury. None of them were there when this happened, right? You're not attacked when a cop is standing next to you. The prosecutor obviously isn't there. The judge is not there. The jury's not there. All
they're all
these
gonna
people
have
are hearing a
opinions.
story about what happened. And they might find that, the prosecutor might tell a compelling story about how what you did was not self-defense. And then you end up convicted. Every case I work on, I have to tell the client, listen, it's really helpful if we can cut a deal, because if I have to put you in front of a jury, you can be the most innocent client I've ever represented. There's a 20% chance you go to prison. That's just a noise in the system.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't happen to me often. I've only thought about it twice in my life. But I did walk away.
You got to keep one of those Antifa hoods in your pocket. You can slip it on real quick.
You know what? Because it's like, it's just always like these women have nothing to lose. So, like, what? I'm going to get in trouble because you've decided that you want to ruin my life? Not today, Dale.
Yeah. Those are the main people who want to fight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the people with the least to lose are the most likely to attack you too, which is unfair. Like if you built yourself a nice life, you got to just kind of hide away from people who might act ratchet.
Yeah.
So what I tell people is every time you get hands-on in a fight, you just incurred two risks you had not occurred a moment before. One is you could literally die in the fight, right? That other person could turn out to be a lunatic. They could have a knife. They could have a gun. They could have friends who show up. They could beat you to death in the street. That's possible. And I don't care how good you are with a gun or a knife or fighting. It might not be your day. You could lose the physical fight. You could die. The other risk you're running is you could end up going to prison for the rest of your life. You could end up having to kill that person, and someone decides that wasn't lawful, and now you're going to prison for the rest of your life.
Yeah. And
So what I tell people is before you get into that fight, just think to yourself, what are you willing to go to prison for? There are good reasons to go to prison, right? I'd rather be alive in prison than dead in the street. I'd rather be in prison than my wife killed or my children killed. But after that, I begin to run out of things I'm willing to go to prison for. And if you're not willing to go to prison over it, you probably shouldn't be fighting over it.
Yeah. Just stay away from them. That's why I moved out to the woods.
Rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6.
Well, I guess I'll stand by my decision of walking away.
Yeah.
But
It's usually just the smarter. That's back to the
at what
topic.
point do you guys think that somebody's bullying you too hard and you have to stop it? Like if you had a son
When
and he's
it
going to
matters.
school, like when do you tell him to hit back?
Well, I was going to say, unpopular opinion, I assume that whenever I see something happen at a school, especially when someone when it's a boy that brings a weapon to a school and targets like a couple of people, it's because he was being bullied and those people wouldn't leave him alone. I think the majority of cases are bullies or bullying that quiet kid, won't leave him alone, and then he finds his dad's weapon and takes him out. So,
but if you think about it, a necessary condition of bullying is that the person being bullied is trapped.
Yeah.
Right? Because otherwise you just leave. That's why bullying happens at school. Because the state makes you go to the school.
Yeah,
you have to
good
go
to
to the
us.
school every day, right? So
Mhm.
you have to be subject to victimization by the bully every day. If you joined a gym and someone there started bullying you, you just stop going. So bullying only happens where you're trapped. So it can happen in school. It can happen in a job where you're trapped, where you feel you can't leave. But the best response to bullying for most adults is don't be there. I mean, don't put yourself in that environment.
Yeah. Well, but so what would you tell a son at school? So if he was in a situation where he can't leave,
I
got to be honest. I just don't know. I mean, I'm 60. When I was when I was in school, you punched a bully, you fought him. But of course, then you didn't have an expectation the bully would have weapons either, right? So it was just going to be a fist fight. You weren't going to end up stabbed behind the school, and you weren't going to be prosecuted as a criminal for getting into a fist fight with a bully in school.
Yep. Because there are situations where the kid finally fights back, and then he gets prosecuted.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I got in lots of fights over bullies when I was a kid in school, but I never had to worry about prosecution or dying. And that's not the world today. It's different.
That's a good point.
And then with girls, see, because cyberbullying is a thing, right? Because you see a lot of young girls, they'll off themselves because of what happens over social media. And you don't really see boys doing that, but you see girls. And girls, we're finally starting to recognize how vicious socially that women are to each other, especially in situations like Andrew say where they can't leave. They are
Guys are finally starting to realize women always knew how vicious girls were.
I stand corrected. Never mind.
Yeah, really.
So what would you say? Anyone, guys? What would you say to your son if he was getting? What would you say to your daughter or your son?
I'd say this is a lesson I learned from boxing. If you're fighting a pressure fighter, they need you to back up to throw punches. So the same with bullies. The minute you back up and give them that momentum to punch, you're in trouble. So I would say after the first time, you have to stop it one way or another.
In a school situation when you're under 18, I would say it's probably better for his development to fight back.
Yeah.
As long as there's no danger, like if this is not a person who's going to shoot you.
Yeah. After the first time, I would say.
When I was a kid, I got bullied a couple times, and I initially fought back, and I got in like more trouble than the bully. And so I learned not to do that and sort of held it in, and that was it's a lot of pressure,
It's
when you're
a
a
weird
kid.
dynamic, right? So we're all different ages. I'm sure I'm by far the oldest person here, but how old I was always a reason kid. I was a smart kid, a nerd, I guess we'd call it in school. And when I first encountered bullies, and I moved to the US from a foreign country, so I didn't speak English very well. And when I first encountered bullies, I tried to reason with them. I'm like, well, why would you be violent? Why can't we just come to and then they'd punch me in the face. And I pretty quickly learned, well, that sucks. So I started punching them in the face back. And once I learned how to fight, the bullying stopped instantly.
Yep.
But I it's almost like the society and the school and the system gave me the freedom of operation to do that. You know what I mean? I didn't have to worry about getting killed or going to prison because I fought back against the bully.
And there's probably male teachers, right? Stop it if it's too far where it's all.
Oh, they never do.
I don't remember any male teachers worth my. No one ever came to my fucking rescue when I was getting my face punched in. I'll tell you that much.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, they don't do that. They're scared too. The male teachers are like, oh, I better not do any of this. I better not put my hands on a student.
But I can't help wondering if it wasn't, societally, generally. I mean, the bullying was terrible as an individual, but from a general societal perspective, if that wasn't kind of a better system, you get bullied a little bit, you toughen up, you fight back, the bullying ends, and you end up with a generation of men that have learned how to fight to defend themselves.
Yeah, that's
as opposed to no offense, but the pussies were turning out by the millions today.
Yeah. I'll put another thing to it. So, I got bullied in school, and I'm doing better than all the people that bullied me, and that spite is quite the motivator. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, spite is a motivator, guys. It'll help you get to where you need to go fast.
I think that's what's happening with all these woke people. I think they all got bullied, and they're just trying to get their revenge.
As adults.
Yeah.
Right. So I worked out all my bullying vengeance. I worked it out at the age of 13. But if you never do that, do you do it at 33?
No.
Right.
So you started fighting
forever.
You started fighting back at 13ish?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't start it.
Gotcha.
I just ended it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It comes back to, we're in a feminized society again. It's repression of the power urge. They tell you expressing any personal power is bad, and so then you repress it and deny it because you can't shut that part of your brain off. Everybody has it. So you repress it and you deny it, and then you grow up and you do bad stuff to people so you can feel power. That's why we have so many hall monitors.
And by the way, I don't want to sound super tough or anything. I mean, normally the kids I were fighting were a grade or two older than me, so they were much bigger and stronger than me. But I never had to worry about dying. You know, I never had to worry they were going to knock me down and then, you know, boot my head until I was brain dead or stab me. I knew if I lost the fight, if I got knocked down, I got a black eye, that was it. That was the end of it. So it's not like I was being a hero, but I was willing to fight the people who were a year or two older than me.
Yeah.
And if in my world, if you were willing to do that, they didn't want to bother with you anymore.
They let you go, yeah. But you have to stop it. If you let it go too long, it'll never end.
No, you'll be a bitch forever.
Yep.
Yeah. They knew that too. And there were kids who did that, by the way. They went through the whole fucking school career as little bitches to these guys. Yeah. They were 18 years old in high school and still bitches. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's like,
and now they work at Microsoft.
There's one more Facebook clip I sent you that's like classic. Go to the last Facebook clip. You were talking about this one's awesome. I just put it there.
Is it? Oh, this one. Is it the one with the girl in the blue tank top? This Times Square cat. Okay.
Yeah. Watch. Look at this one.
Okay. I can't think of a better way to spend my Saturday night than watching women get beat.
No. He hasn't even touched this woman. But watch. It's so good. Watch.
Okay, wait. How do I?
Oh, good old New York. How come all the clips are from New York?
Look at this guy.
Ole.
That's how he's gonna. That's the guy who knows how to avoid child support.
Look at the cops being nice to him and everything.
Stop lying! Stop lying! You walked up drunk. You got it on camera. You walked up drunk and mushed him. We got it on camera. Stop playing. Stop playing.
That is so.
She did all that, and she had the nerve to go to the cop and say, "He put his hands on me," and the guy's like, "She's lying."
Oh my gosh! You know, one of the worst ones was when I was doing these interviews, and in one of them, this girl was like, "Oh, this guy hit me," and I'm like, "Okay," or no. He shoved me down he threw me down the stairs, and I'm like, okay, so what happened? And then she's like, well, I went over to his house and he told me not to go there. And I'm like, wait, so you were trespassing?
Yeah.
And then she's like, well, and I was fighting with him in front of his son and he wanted me to leave. And I'm like, so
leave.
Yeah, and so I guess she was at the top of the stairs and he was trying to push her to leave, you know, and then she told the cops that he like threw her down the stairs. And I'm like, bitch!
Girl, women will throw themselves down the stairs and then pretend the guy did it. They may even believe the guy did it. Like in their heads, if you put them on a lie detector machine, it would test like they were telling the truth. I've worked, when I did family law, I worked plenty of cases where women would deliberately injure themselves. They would punch their own arms. They would hurt themselves to have bruises when the cops showed up.
Pearl, what's the female... On Pearl's channel, we have what's called the female-friendly version of the story. Women, they get so used to telling the female-friendly of the story. What is the female-friendly version of the story, Pearly?
Where she's the victim and the hero at the same time.
Yep, in the same story. And all you have to do, they're so used to telling it, and people are they're so used to people just accepting it that all you have to do is ask a couple of questions and it all falls apart.
What are the questions?
Yeah.
Well, it's when he's angry or like when she says he did this to me, you have to ask them like what led up to it. And that's like usually like, you know, if he essayed me, well, I was naked in his bed and I'm like, what?
Like, right.
Like, how did you
file a police report?
Yeah, did you file a police report? The biggest thing is the DV, the abuse. What was the specific abuse? What did he specifically do? That's a bit. The more specific.
Emotional.
Yeah.
I
What
was
do you
just
mean by
mad.
emotional abuse? Yeah, never.
By the way, when I got divorced, the reason I gave up everything to get divorced was because I knew all this. I knew all these traps. I knew all my vulnerabilities. So my whole strategy for my divorce was, I think I can, if I end up broke, I think I can make more money, and I'll pay all the money I have now to avoid all those vulnerabilities. So she won't make these claims if she knows she's getting all this stuff.
And it worked?
It worked, yeah. I mean, it worked. I ended up broke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to recover?
I'm still recovering.
Oh, really?
Oh, I'm 60. I'll never stop working.
Really?
Yeah, my situation
Come
doesn't.
on, with your channel? Come on, you'll never stop working.
No. Don't get me wrong. I do very well for myself. I'm not in poverty. Listen, I have a very costly German motorcycle habit.
Yeah,
I do fine. I do fine, but I'll never make that money back. I had to make it all again.
Yeah,
crazy.
No, but that was my question. Did you ever get to where you were before you divorced again? Like, did you do better than?
Yeah, I mean, probably it probably took me a decade.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah, that's a chunk of time.
I'm just wondering, like, what
It's like a prison sentence, right? It's like a
Yeah.
manslaughter sentence.
I was just curious, when a guy loses it all, how long, if he doesn't get on child support, does it take to like make it back?
Well, so I never had any alimony. That's one of the things I bought my way out of. And I never had any child support because I bought joint custody of my kids. So I avoided all that, which was the most important thing for me. But yeah, you go from living like an upper middle class lifestyle with a nice house and nice cars and nice toys to sleeping on an air mattress. You have to be able to do that transition and then believe. And, you know, I mean, at 40, I was young enough to do it. I wouldn't want to do it today. But at 40, I was young enough to do it, to convince myself that I could be broke at 40 and financially come back from that.
Yeah.
I mean, I gave up everything, the retirement, everything. I had nothing.
36% of divorces are over 50 and 9% are over 60.
Yikes.
So I'm still not safe.
Sorry, buddy.
Who's getting divorced at 65? What's left for
Women
you?
are divorcing their husbands. That's what's going on at 65.
Oh my gosh, I've reacted to some women talking about it on my channel.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, look, I don't mean to be black-pilled, but I've just seen, to the guy that was here earlier, I've just seen men more confident than you that actually didn't have the rough patch that you and your wife, that you talked about with your wife, spoke more confidently that ended up worse.
And I say it all the time. I'm very happily married. I'm passionately married to my wife. We have a great marriage. But I'll be honest, if she were to turn around tomorrow and say, oh, I just had a fit and I decided I don't like you anymore and I want to get divorced, I'd be like, I mean, what the fuck could I do about it? Nothing.
Yeah.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah, because once again, I said it before. I'll say it one last time. The majority of men in my lifetime will still get married, and because men want to have kids, and men accept the fact. I was talking to Pearl about this the other day. I've met more women that are willing to adopt alone or be single mothers by choice. Men don't do that. Men don't pay a surrogate to have a child. They want to adopt. What? I wouldn't date a single mom. What makes you think that I would adopt a child alone? And if I think that a single mother, a woman going into motherhood by herself is the most selfish thing a woman can do, and I'm equal with that for a man, right? So
men want a functional marriage. Okay, men want a functional traditional marriage, which is basically what I have now. So I go out and I work and I make money. And that's all I do. And I take motorcycle trips, but that's all I do. My wife manages the home. She takes care of the kids. She does all that kind of back office infrastructure stuff. My only mission in my family is to make fucking money. I'm good at that. And my wife makes it possible for me to optimize my life that way. I'm not driving the kids to school. We're not splitting child raising. I mean, I'm there for birthdays and Christmases and stuff like that. And I love my children. I adore them. I'm very happy being a father. But my wife does the heavy lifting in the home. And that frees me up to do my mission of making money. And I think most men would like that arrangement. I get to go out and make money. I get to exert my expertise in the world and bring in resources for my family and go home, and my wife makes me dinner and I get laid and I have kids. It's wonderful. But I don't think most men get that in marriage.
Yeah. And it's just when they do get married, because most men are still going to, they just make an informed decision and don't be crying about it later. And in Pearl's channel, Andrew's channel, all these Red Bull channels, Home Math, we're all here for you guys when it all falls apart.
Really?
Does your wife
Have
have
a
a
seat.
single? Does your wife have a single sister with no kids and an 800+ credit score?
Steve.
You asking me?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would not want to marry my wife's sister.
Okay, guys.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so I
By the
want
way,
to.
I would point out too that my wife's mother, I had to break my wife's programming. She was raised by an ultra feminist woman. So my wife's mother is ultra feminist, like she's in her head, she's living in the suffragette era. Like women are still desperately fighting for their rights against abusive women. That's what all of society is.
Yeah.
And when I first started dating my wife for the first year, it was like a deprogramming year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to. So next, Homath, do you have any final things you want to show us or anything?
No, I mean, there was one thing I was drawing from a while back when we were talking about IQ, but I don't think it's relevant anymore. There was just some guy who designed a bear, like throwing your garbage away in a way that bears can't get in, but he found that there was too much of an overlap between the smartest bears and the dumbest people. So,
Okay. Well, so okay. Wait, I'm sorry. That took me a second to process.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so
Sounds like an allegory for letting women vote.
yeah.
Oh, this is such a good panel today. So, okay, so earlier today I went out and got street interviews about I was asking about Charlie Kirk and the fighting question, so I wanted to show people I was going to react to the people I interviewed today. You guys are welcome to stay, but it is long. It's like 15 minutes. It's like a 15-minute video. So if you guys don't want to stay for that, you're welcome to bounce now.
Right.
Your final thoughts.
I'm stuck in a hotel room, so I'll hang out.
I'll stay.
I'm gonna go get dinner, but I'm fading anyway. You know me, I get tired.
Yeah.
But this is it's like Andrew Tate is, he's right about some things, and he's talking about like men, particularly white men, relevant to the topic, don't know how to keep women in line. They don't. We're too nice. Like I grew up that way. I've got this whole just be nice chart where they tell you, where is it? Just be nice, just be yourself. And then you do that, and then they go, no one owes you anything. And it's like, well, what was I nice for? And most guys just never figure that out. And you got to figure that out. You got to figure out how to project power.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Homath. I appreciate you coming. It's a pleasure as always.
Of course.
Come back
dude,
anytime,
it's great.
Homath. You're the man.
All right.
Man.
Good
Thank
talking
you.
to you.
All right.
Oh,
okay, I'll see you.
Before we move forward, someone put a comment real fast that I wanted Pearl to react to in the chat earlier. The individual channel says, Pearl, did you see Nala Ray's response to Charlie Kirk's passing? She says her and her husband are broken, so she's leading a national fasting and prayer campaign. 3 or 4 can't quit that attention drip.
I don't. I'm gonna watch the video now. Okay, so these are the interviews I got today in downtown Chicago, in West Loop. I know a lot of people said I should be scared about the street interviews. It's generally fine, guys, as long as you're using your phone and not a big camera or having signs and tables and stuff. You can kind of just walk around and you're okay. So don't worry. But
that's where that one lady got punched in the face by that one guy.
Yeah, he punched like 2 women in the face, actually.
Yep. So be careful out there, Pearly.
Do you go with anyone?
No.
What?
I mean, because you have to understand it's a different type of environment. Like, you can't ask. If I'm going by myself, I'm not asking the questions in an antagonizing way. I'm just asking people the questions and they can say what they want. I'm not going back and forth. You kind of learn it when you get into it.
So the news this week is, how did you react to the death of Charlie Kirk?
Oh, Charlie Kirk. First, it was a little bit shocking for me because I used to watch a lot of their clips. But yeah, out of nowhere, I was having lunch in my house and my roommate was like, "Hey, have you seen the news? Charlie Kirk got shot." And first we were like, "Okay, but maybe shot, maybe he's all right." Then when they uploaded the video, we just know like, okay, it was a clean shot, and the next one, it was a lot.
I think we started a fire a long time ago, and it's been tough to put it out. So now it's a lot of things happening. It's like animals in the forest. Everyone panics.
I think that it was totally undeserved, and people need to learn when to stay in their own lane and to respect other people's opinions. And I think that people who are pro-guns need to defend themselves. And
These guys were from not Chicago. And they're talking.
They have a very not Chicago look. Yeah.
They're from Wisconsin. I was asking, but you're from Iowa or something. You're not from here.
They're anti-guns. Like
They had these blonde girls too in the background. They didn't want to be on camera. I'm like, where are you from? It's not here. Like, it's not.
And many other shooters for school shootings in the past need to stay in their own lane and watch what they're doing for.
Do you think that political violence is necessary for change?
Not at all. I think political change can happen without any violence.
It was awful.
Yeah, it's horrible to seeing that video. It's horrible.
What do you think? Do you think that violence is necessary for change?
No, I was ecstatic. It's a beautiful day in America, honestly.
Wow.
I'm gonna say
He kind of talked about not having empathy, and I believe that is a good way of being as well.
Okay, and you think political violence is necessary to?
I think that people reap what they sow, and that's just life.
But Pearly, pause it real fast. What do I? This isn't Pearl's views. This is Doug and PA's views. American black women are the scum of the earth. Not all. I'd say maybe 80% of them. I'll say it.
Hey, look, she's got to live with the fact that she has a 50% chance of having herpes, and I think that's enough.
I'm telling you, I can't. I've been black in this country for way too long. I'll tell you, black men have the worst women to choose from. No one has it worse than us.
I do STD Fridays. I know the stats. All right.
STD Fridays.
Yeah. We do.
Angie,
We do.
You're on mute.
We do sex ed on Fridays, and yeah, black women. You guys, I don't know what it is. You guys all got the herp. It's like 50%. So
yeah, I was laughing because it's funny because it's true.
I am not. I'm not kidding.
I know. I've seen the CDC studies too. It's
I'm telling you, man. I'll say it one last time. No one has the worst women on the planet are black women in America. They make the worst mothers. No one wants to marry them. The weed, the tattoos, all that stuff, guys. I'm telling you.
Can I ask our other black guests? Because I have to say, the black friends I have say the same thing. They say exactly what I just heard. Do you disagree?
No,
he doesn't disagree. If he disagreed,
you're a
he would've
lawyer.
answered
I plead the fifth.
You know what? I'll say it. No one knows my face. I'll speak for all of us when I say, and I'm not saying all, but maybe 80%.
We heard you.
80%. Yep.
Yeah, I could say some people have experienced that, definitely.
Most of people we aren't safe. So we gotta watch our backs most of the times.
Is that something you've dealt with, like in Chicago here?
Not necessarily here. I think it depends also on what type of neighborhoods you walk by, or maybe what type of streets you are. Mostly in downtown or around here in West Loop, you can just go with your phone, with your headphones, everything. It's fine.
Do you ever think it scares people from speaking up about their beliefs because of the repercussions that might happen?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to get fired, lose friends, etc. And I mean, like if you start getting
So these girls were funny because I totally thought they were going to be liberal. I don't know what, like, just because of the heavy. I just thought I went up to them. I'm like,
In the shirts too.
these look like some liberal white. And then I talked to them, and I'm like, oh,
The shirts and the glasses made me think that instantly.
Yeah, but the way they're talking, it's kind of hard to hear because something drove by. And she's getting married. She's probably more right leaning.
If you're worried
In the moment.
repercussions, either
Yeah, at the moment. Yeah, that's good.
job or whatever, yeah, that's going to make you not want to talk about what you're doing.
I was very surprised. I feel very bad for his family. Nobody deserves to die, especially in the way he did.
What do you think about the people that are celebrating his death?
I don't know. I really don't think that it's the best thing to celebrate someone's death, no matter what they did, because at the end of the day, everybody's human.
Were you holding a gun, Pearl?
No, I don't know. I think he was just. I think this guy was just young. I think because he was kind of looking at, like, I think he's never been on camera before or something. I don't know.
He looks autistic.
What?
So he looks autistic. That's what he looks like.
It looks like every police confession I've ever seen.
I mean, it's possible. I don't think so, but I don't know.
Do you think that people should be fired that celebrated their death?
No.
So this was another. What do you think? They're going to be liberal or
Oh
conservative?
my God! Look at those.
Definitely liberal.
BMI.
Liberal all day, every
tattoos.
day.
Come on now.
That's
Yep.
definitely liberal.
Conversation.
Did you think it was sad? Did you think?
I think any kind of death like that is sad. Yes, I know that there's controversy, and I understand that there are sides and big feelings, but it's still human life, and I think the biggest tragedy is just the disregard for human life in general right now, on all sides. Like,
Do you think that there's a lot of discussion online that says political violence is necessary? Do you guys think it is?
You're being really quiet. I don't know how to respond. Yeah. Again, it just in this country, no. I mean, I just think there's one thing about fighting for social justice, but I mean, there's again that disregard for human life is.
My reaction is that I think
They were conservative.
So shocking.
Oh my God,
man!
I know. I
Wrong
didn't.
on that.
So shocking.
I said that
liberal.
she's gonna say it later. I don't know when we'll cut back, but where she said she was from is really
she's
surprising.
fighting for social justice and she's conservative. That's.
Would she say she was fighting for social justice?
No.
Yeah.
She said there is fighting for social.
Oh, there
justice.
is fighting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
you reap what you sow.
This
Oh
guy,
gosh.
he's got the liberal physiognomy, the ugly face,
Okay. So you think he kind of deserved it, or why?
I mean, I think that, if you look at the things he said, people need to die by gun violence to justify the Second Amendment and things like that. I mean, I feel like, he met the same violence that he advocated for.
Do you think violence is necessary for political change?
Violence is necessary for political change?
No, I'm asking, do you think it is?
Do I think it is? I would say sometimes, yeah. I think so.
When it's for his side.
Maybe like things like civil disobedience and everything that works when you have an audience. But in the absence of that, like oppressed people, like I don't think they always necessarily need to face their annihilation peacefully. Like I think it would be okay. But going back to your first question, I think one thing that's interesting is that the Charlie Kirk assassination is getting a lot more attention than the fact that Israel assassinated Yemen's prime minister.
They always like to defer. They want to distract.
I mean, I think that should be.
I know. I'm like.
I always hear him. What about Israel? What about Gaza? What about this? What about the Epstein files? All right, listen. You just shot our little brother through the throat in front of his children. I don't give a fuck about your other issues.
Yeah, I know, but when there's certain environments, I just don't go back and forth. I just let them talk.
No, you can't. You got to let it go.
Well, I don't have to if I have security.
Do you want security down there?
I don't want to pay for it. You know how expensive it is. It's actually, I mean, it's okay because I'm friends with the bouncers there. Watch my stuff. That's why I go to this one place because there's like 3 bouncers out there and they all love my content. So I just, if it goes south. But yeah, it's like the challenge you get. It's really the attention. Like people aren't going to do stuff if it's not a big scene. But the problem is, like the only time I've ever been nervous in a street interview is when I had a giant sign and a tripod by myself that said abortion is a cop out. That one I was kind of scared, but yeah, I don't know this. And that's the problem. Like Charlie, we talked about it last time. He made it so like, he drew, it was a lot of attention on him.
A lot more attention that we have a nuclear power that is on things. And it's not getting nearly
Don't
the
care.
people that control the media. Like
I don't care.
Yeah, who's running the show? Who's trying to?
We're gonna
at the end of the day, sensible.
It's a demonstrated characteristic of liberals that when we think about morality, we tend to think about it in the modern sense of like it's a personal preference. It's what I like is moral, what I don't like is immoral.
Mhm.
But the truth is, morality has a biological anchor. What's moral behavior, moral decision making, is what's in the best interest of your genetic line, your family, your community, your tribe, your nation. And what's immoral behavior are things that undermine the long-term interest of your family, your community, your tribe, your nation. And the worst immoral behavior you could engage in is prioritizing foreigners, aliens, over your own group, over your own tribe. That's the ultimate immoral behavior. And that's what liberals do. They've done studies on this, where conservatives, their greatest affinity is for the people closest to them. They love most their family, their community, their tribe, their nation. And then, they think about foreigners later. The liberals, they love most people they will never fucking meet in their lives. They love the Gazans and the Haitians and people they'll never actually meet and be obligated to help. And the people they hate the most are themselves and their own gender, their family, their community, their tribe, their nation. It's a complete disconnect.
It doesn't make any sense.
I found a clip like literally today that I put on the document. It's real quick, and it proves Angie's point just now. It talks about why women are more likely to be liberal because they put other people ahead of themselves in a toxic way.
Mhm.
Like the last clip, it's this academic guy, and he breaks down why women are more likely to be liberal.
Okay.
It's the last. Here you go.
Very good liberals, because they have the serpentine quality that men should love the hell out of them, but instead they love the hell in them. See the difference? They embrace this and encourage the serpentine dictatorship, the dictatorship of sympathy. You'll find that women, as liberals in politics have the same feminine quality. That everybody is lovely and there's no fault in everybody, and all people need is more love and feeling and respect, and they'll be all right, equal rights and God knows what.
What's the formula for the solution?
The thing is, you have to look that women tend to be supportive to the wrong. Your children, they'll always support the wrong. You try to correct them. As a father, you try to correct them. That's your job. Of course, you've got to be correct. You've got to be respectable before that respect will take. Children know the difference. Like if Jimmy Carter, I would never listen to Jimmy Carter. I'd just run. I'd fight like hell. I'd fight him rather than the Russians. See? That's what he'd do to me. But if it was a Ronald Reagan asked me to do something, I'd see that man's decent. And I see he means well, and he may not always be right, but never mind. I love him, and I love where he's coming from. Therefore, I'm going to go along with him and see where it leads, because, can't have a lot of cooks running the show, just one at a time, and, everybody can make mistakes, but I'm willing to go along with that. And children are the same way. If they have that quality in the father, that beyond, see, and he's in control of himself, and that whereby a woman also tends to see that quality, then she also stands corrected. The role of a man is to save himself from a woman, to find salvation. Save yourself is a bad word because you can't save yourself. Whatever salvation is, that's another subject. But to be saved from the love of a woman, it's an addiction to a fallen being, like drugs are to the addict, you see. To save himself, to find that beyond, to identify with the spirit that created him. And when a woman sees that, a child sees that, then the marriage and the family is as good as saved. Because but the trouble is, women tend to be very obstinate because they have been doing this, they've been taught as children. You taught them yourself to support your selfishness. See? And so you've done that yourself. So it takes a little while for this respectability to, to be recognized and to be felt. But you must understand that women tend to have that serpentine quality in them, and they tend to support everything that's weak and everything that's wrong, and to tend to war against whatever you're trying to do. They even turn your children against you if they can. Unconscious. Women make very good.
There you go.
Wow.
Where's the lie, Pearl?
Nowhere.
I literally found it like 3 hours ago. I was like, oh my God. But
let's see.
Anybody celebrating like in your real life? Because
anybody around would say something, say nothing against them, but it's like you shouldn't be doing that to someone, whoever it is, on either side. Celebrating death is just not. Yeah. In my opinion.
do you think? Okay, so if you see a fight or somebody challenges you to a fight, do you think it's smart to walk away or to engage in the fight?
No, I'm always trying to be on the peaceful side. I always try to maybe talk and try to not engage. You walk away, sorry, my bad, it's not my fault. Sorry, my bad, and just walk away.
So do you think if one person, like, do you think there will be a retaliation, like people will fight back?
Against what? In this scenario with me?
No, I meant like since Charlie Kirk got shot, do you think there will be a retaliation? Do you think there'll be more?
Oh, maybe, I don't know, because he was, it's like as I was saying, his clips, it was really fun to see how he just dealt with different people. But yeah, out of nowhere, as I was saying to some of my friends, nowadays if somebody wants to give a speech or something, I think they have to go like, have you seen the Pope when he goes with a glass wall or something? So they will be saved in that way. Retaliation by like per se, I don't know. Hopefully not.
My grandmother always told me this: when you arguing with a fool from a distance, they can't tell who is who. That's my.
That's a good. That's my favorite one tonight. What do you
That's a
foresee
Jay-Z
happening
line.
in the future? Do you think that in the future?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's from a Jay-Z song. Don't argue with a fool, because from a distance you can't tell who is who.
I guess I believed it when he said it was his grandma. Maybe his grandma's just.
That's
They're going to retaliate, or do you think there's going to be more?
Now I don't believe that Pearl dated black guys.
Dominican, all right.
Okay, all right.
I come from the mindset of a lot of people like Gandhi and Martin Luther King. I think love and peace would always conquer. So that's my answer.
If someone challenges you to a fight, is it smart to walk away or to fight back? Is
These
it
guys
weak
are
to
walking
walk
away.
They're running.
Why?
There's no point in move. Like, there's nothing to prove to people.
It's better to walk away.
Why?
And to spread more peace around the world.
Why?
Because in today's world, it's very destructive and very chaotic, and it's just easier to spread peace rather than hate.
Well, I guess it depends on
It's very funny because my advice is the same. If you can safely walk away, walk away. But my advice is because I don't want to go to prison.
Yeah.
It's not because I think that's the morally right answer. I don't want to go to prison. I'm a guy who carries a gun. I've carried a gun my entire adult life. If I can avoid getting into a fight consistent with my safety, I'm going to do that 110% of the time. But it's just because I don't want to go to jail.
Yeah, I've never understood why incarceration isn't a successful deterrent for some people. It is for me. I've never been arrested, never been to jail. No way. Nope. Yeah. Not happening.
If I came up to you, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. But like, if I came up to you like a crazy woman and said, "Let's fight," and I started aggressive, would you run, walk away, or would you fight me back?
I would run away. Yeah.
You'd run away.
No, I'd rather not, like either get arrested or get my fist broken.
If there's a fight, is it
Like if
smarter to
someone
walk away?
challenges you to a fight, is it smarter to walk away or to fight back?
I mean, that's like a kind of ambiguous question, right? Like, what's the context in which it happens and everything? Like,
I mean,
are you observing a fight, or is it if somebody attacks you?
Okay,
Or
I'll
what?
tell you that.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of clips recently of people like there was the woman.
This is the kind of guy that gets tricked into a gay man's bedroom. Well, it depends upon the
Oh,
context.
the CEO caught a softball and took it away from the kid.
And then the girl came up and starts arguing with him. He just says, "Here's the softball," because I'm sorry to say it another way. There was at a baseball game, you know how they catch the balls at that are like out of bounds.
Is that what they do at baseball
Yeah,
games?
okay. So they catch the balls that are out of bounds, right? And there was a guy who caught it, and this woman was mad. He ducked in front of her, and she starts screaming at him, right?
Okay, I didn't see this. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, totally fine. But there was a discourse online where one side was saying he was weak because he just said, "Here's the ball, go away," because she was like a crazy woman, and because he was giving the ball to his kid, and the woman starts screaming at the kid, and the other side was saying, "Oh, well, he should have fought back." So it kind of goes back to the question: if someone's trying to fight you, is it smarter to fight back or just walk away?
I'd say that depends entirely on the situation. Like something over a baseball, maybe not. But if it's something
like what's at stake.
Yeah, like what's at stake. But maybe for in the context of what's happening in Gaza, for instance, or in a lot of these other countries like Sudan and Congo, which I don't know.
He brought it back to Gaza again?
Yeah. Isn't he the international one?
Okay, so the funny thing is, I don't think that it was, I think it was edited out, but there was one woman that looked liberal.
Her.
I think she was a part of a convent, guys.
Really?
She said, "Yeah, I'm friends with a lot of people from the convent." That's what she said. I can't remember. I said something to her and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm from the convent, so it's mostly religious people."
She so looks like she has a Black Lives Matter placard on her lawn.
I know, those are the best interviews. It's like when you think they're gonna say one thing and they say something completely different.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I did today.
And just in passing, I'll mention that when I was a teenager, I lived a few miles from a convent for bad behaved girls. It was awesome.
Yeah. Do you think the nuns are throwing it back too?
Not in my experience, but the younger gals were.
Okay. All right. Well, that's all I got today on the topic. This is great. Thank you guys for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's a Saturday night. This is the best panel we've had in a while. So thought you guys would be busy or something.
Nope, the fight hasn't started yet. Well, yes, it has. Canelo Crawford.
What's the fight?
Canelo and Crawford boxing match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me, Pearl. Thanks. Nice meeting you guys. And hopefully we'll do it again sometime soon.
Awesome. Thanks for coming.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming. It's your first time here, so call it any time. We're here every night, so.
Oh, absolutely.
Whenever you're free, I put the link in the chat, so if you ever see a topic, just feel free to hop on. I'll put you up.
All right. Sounds good. See you soon.
Good talking to you, buddy.
Yeah,
Have a good
Good
one.
talking to you too. Take care.
This is great.
There has to be a way that you can put the person's name on the StreamYard things so people know their names. Because right now it's not. I wonder if there's a button you can push on StreamYard that'll put their name.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, that's
next
kind of
time.
on them. They
Okay.
write in their name when they come in.
I didn't know that. But yeah, final thoughts for me is guys, you have to defend yourselves. Don't just sit there and let your woman beat on you and hit you and stuff. And here's the thing. You have your phone camera now, so whip out your phone, and I think you'll be okay if you have to physically defend yourself, especially if the woman initiates it. And but if you do have something to lose, walk away, guys. Like 90-95% of the time, because you don't want to end up in jail over some BS, especially if you have if you're a man of means and status. So.
Well, I'm falling asleep, so I'm getting tired. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell. And go to theaudacitynetwork.com if you want to sign up for our monthly memberships and support us so we can be we are on YouTube now, but you know, I don't ever want, if I ever get kicked off again, the goal is to get as many memberships as we can. So if you can, go there, like the video, and I'll see you next time.